And then the hammer gets played. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to retweet that real quick. I forgot to add the image. Oh, nice! There we are. Okay. MLG started right there. What's up, guys? Welcome to Crafty, Brews, and Nerdy News. I can't believe it, but this is episode or number 12 for us so far. And that's not even cooking or including the cooking streams. You're doing great there. And I just want to welcome fantastic guests that we have this evening, Infrared Mike and Mitachi. Hello, guys.
Hi, guys.
It's awesome having you guys on here. Thank you for joining. And we got lots of stuff to dive into. They were already starting to chat about things, and I had to stop them. Just rambling on.
What, somebody had to tell me to shut up? What?
We're like, hey, wait, hold on. We aren't live yet.
Never happened.
My entire life revolves around my ability to just randomly talk about things.
I think it comes with the job.
It does. It does, for sure. Before we jump into some game news, let's chat about what we're drinking tonight. For me, I am drinking a very tasty beer called Bloops from Ordnance Brewing. It is a blueberry wheat beer. You can actually smell the blueberries. Anyways, it's really, really good. I'm pouring here right now. And it's actually pretty light, good for the summer. I've definitely been craving all the fresh fruit lately. So it pairs right up with that, and I actually do have, oh man, I should have grabbed them, blueberries in my fridge right now. So anyways, this is a blueberry wheat beer, very tasty, smells very, very much like tasty fruit. And actually, these two got pretty coordinated with their drinks. They apparently left me out of what we were supposed to bring to the show, but Infrared Mike has a...
It's Patty's. I'm drinking Patty's whiskey because I want to get. So, if I wanted to sit and sip, I have like a 12-year-old Belvany double cask Scotch. But right now, I'm mixing Patty's Irish whiskey with Dr. Pepper.
You guys are too fancy for me. I'm just drinking regular old Captain Morgan and Diet Dr. Pepper. I was actually going to go get some Boulevard wheat, and then I was like, you know what? Wheat's just too heavy for me tonight. I'm just trying to lay off the beer a little bit. So
yeah, I know the feeling.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I was going to stop by the tap house that's like 12 feet from my office, but I left work at like 11 today. I worked literally like 2.5 hours, and guys, I'm out.
I'm out.
I have a dentist appointment. I got this whole craft brews thing later.
Yeah,
I gotta go relax, take a nap maybe.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. You guys and your little mixed drinks. I was like the only one who brought beer to this thing. It's alright. I will keep up with this.
Map DMA Twitch, there's a lot of alcohol in space.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, I will show off a little bit here. Where did my... There we go. This is the bloops that I'm drinking here. Oh, they're actually calling it a fruit beer, which is interesting. It definitely is on that borderline of fruit beer or wheat beer. But
hey, Taco,
yeah.
Bring me a cup of ice.
This is what great
Just ice.
kids are for, right? Am I right?
Transport.
Yeah. And yes, I do call my 14-year-old Taco.
Taco.
There you go.
Future streamer, yeah?
Yeah, I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you're old enough. Technically, 13 is the limit with parental consent. So if you want to fire up and stream from the time that you're home from school and I'm home from work, we can get you set up.
There you go.
As long as by the time I sit down, I don't have to change everything, we'll be fine. But
yeah, that's awesome. Well, cool. Building another streamer in the mix.
Yeah, my kids are not old enough. My son would be a perfect ham for being online, but he is only 5, and I have to shoo him out of the room. Like, say hi real quick. Okay, you're gonna get me banned. Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. Is my son, my 7-year-old, his favorite person on Twitch is not me. He comes over. He's like, "Hey, is Milwaukee on?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, hi, buddy. Hey, good night, Milwaukee." And I'm like, "Thanks for that."
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
Fortunately, I just have to compete with YouTubers, so it's like,
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah.
Try.
Yeah, it's like
Dan TDM knows everything.
Yep. Yeah, he knows everything. Dan TDM all day. So Good gosh.
Yeah, that's a 7-year-old.
There you go.
No, I have too many kids, so I'll have my 14-year-old probably start streaming soon. My 12-year-old turns 13 in October, and I know he's just eager. So
there you go.
And then I have the 7-year-old and the 2-year-old. It just heads up, guys. If you hear any loud screaming, it is going to be the 2-year-old.
It's gonna be the 2-year-old. Isn't it always the 2-year-old?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he looks like the mailman. He's this like short, little, adorable blonde guy. So he's almost luminescent in the sun. I'll be honest with you. He reflects light pretty well.
Oh, that's great. Well, awesome. So let's just dive in real quick. What have we all been up to? What's been new? And where can they find you guys at? Just kind of introduce yourselves here real quick.
I'll start. Go ahead, I guess.
Go ahead.
You can find me at Twitch. It's Infrared Mike, and I stream literally every night. Monday through Friday is 8:30 to close. Generally closes around midnight. Sometimes 4 a.m. It happens. And then on the weekends, it's really up in the air. I usually decide that day when I'm going to stream. As you guys heard, I have 4 kids. I work a lot in the office. I'm the product manager for Track IR. Little kid just hops in out of nowhere. It happens. Okay, say hi and bye, buddy.
Hi, bye.
All right, love you. Go.
So
Go.
adorables.
Their kids are ham. I'll tell you, that's the same thing my son does all.
Yeah. They're so interested in what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Or the 14-year-old is just completely indifferent to my existence.
Yep. Sounds about right.
But yeah, that's where you guys can find me. If you see anybody pop up as Infrared Mike or Track IR Official, that's me. I just run all that stuff, and my entire life revolves around streamers, content creators, and gaming.
Cool. Good stuff. My turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, my turn? Cool.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Mitachi. You can find me on twitch.tv/Mitachi. I think its name's kind of down here somewhere like that. And yeah, I stream every day of the week. I'm scheduled, for my scheduled streams are Monday through Friday. I do Monday through Thursday. We do a noon to 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Then we come back at 9 p.m. And we stream more than that sometimes, but we come back at 9, usually do a 9 to midnight, 9 to 1. Then Friday nights, we do the Space Bros show at 10 p.m., which is all of our review about Star Citizen. And we do that till we either get very drunk, very tired, or we talk too much, and everybody starts leaving. And then Saturdays, Saturdays are like, we just stream when we feel like it, but we stream every single day. So we just put it out on Twitter, tell everybody to follow us, or hop in the Space Bro Discord channel. And yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I'm going to throw it out there that I absolutely hate that my stream times conflict with yours because I never get to actually watch.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I have time that I can stream, and I love streaming more than anything. It's like streaming, watching streamers, and then everything else.
I feel you on that. I am subbed to 10 different streamers, most of them Star Citizen streamers, and I honestly never get to watch any of their shows. Sometimes I get to rate them. Sometimes I get to go over and say hi, but then I get started on my show, so I don't get to watch any of them anymore. So that's the way it goes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's just how it works. This is streamer life, right?
It is. Unless you can find some way to co-op, like here on your show. Like I never get to watch Rue. Ever. Yeah. You know, I try to, but only if I get to raid you, then I get to watch it. Like,
yeah, right. And then, like, by the time you're just exhausted, and you're just like, well...
Well, I lay in bed and watch you guys, and my wife's like, really? 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 I'm like, yes. I'm watching it still.
I just gotta watch this, okay? Just a couple more minutes.
It's my TV, man. There's, like, some shows I watch on the internet, and then I watch streams. That's just me. I love watching streams.
Yeah. I love when people hop in, they're like, hey, have you seen this? And I'm like, I go from work to home, and from when I hit home to when I stream, there's this 2-hour window. And how many episodes of something do you think I really cram into that while spending time with the wife, the kids, and making dinner? Like, come on, there's not a lot of space.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just very short amount of time. Gotta cram everything in. Yeah, well, that's awesome. How long have you guys all been streaming, by the way?
I've been streaming since when? I don't know. How about you, Mike? How long you been streaming for?
It'll be 1 year on the 26th. May 26th is my first official stream. I think I started the channel on like the 22nd, but the first one where I actually like had content was the 26th. So that's up and coming, and I've bumped up to I'm right at 2,300 followers. So I think I've made pretty solid progress.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
For sure. That and carrying a full-time job, for sure, man. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. It's one of those, there's times where I feel like if I could start 4 hours earlier or 4 hours later, I would be so much further than I am right now.
I'm telling you, when you do the long streams, I used to do 12-hour streams when I didn't have to take the break for the kids. And what happens is you'll get those lulls, and then all of a sudden you'll perk up at a certain hour, and you're like just about ready to shut it off. We talked about this off the air, and you're ready to go off the air, and you're like, all right, man, I put in my 12, and then it's like boom, raid, or boom, 50 people show up, and you're like, well, I'll keep going. I don't know how entertaining this will be moving forward, but I'm staying, and it gets like that. We had to go back on YouTube because I've always tried to push out some videos on YouTube for the archive, because before I was partnered, I wanted to make sure I had some stuff out there. But I think we've discovered it was either the end of 2012 or 2013 is when I started streaming. So, and I didn't take it serious at all. Did it entire for fun. We actually used it as a troll technique in EVE Online, because we used to stream our position mining and have people hot drop us, and then we'd counter drop them. So I'd be out there like, oh, I'm just mining on stream like an idiot, and they'd try to jump us, and we'd counter jump and troll them. It was really fun. We did that for like a year, but I think it was last year. I decided, I think it was at the beginning of August, that I was going to try to get partnered and kind of take it as a full-time business type thing, if I got partnered and was able to work in the hours and all that stuff. We were within 3 months we got partnered. October 31st we got partnership. It was really awesome, and it's been a crazy ride. I can't believe it's already been, I don't know, like 7 months.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
It has been 7 months.
It's see, I play Elite more than I play Star Citizen lately, and I do the same thing where people pop in. Hey, are you an open? Like, come find out. Like, waste your time to come find whether or not I'm sitting next to a rock.
It's great because everybody thinks they're getting over on somebody, because stream sniping's a thing, and a lot of streamers are, I hate these streams. I love it. It's more interaction. It's more stuff. Bring it on. Let's do it. Because you can control what they see. You're leading them by the nose. Control what they see. I even used to play old VODs like of me mining. It wasn't even me live, and then we'd switch the screen when they raid it and be like, gotcha. And it's like,
what?
See, I take a little different approach, because I'm good friends. Like I've become good friends with a major stream sniper in the Elite community.
Oh, there you go.
Some of them, they take it too far and they start affecting chat, and that's where I draw the line. I'm like, guys, you take it out of the game. Like, this is what I do to relax. This is what I do to earn extra money, and I dump it all back into stream. But like, you take it out of the game and into real life, and that's where I cut it off. And some of them, they just can't make that. They can't make that line.
Absolutely.
Weren't we just
like, if you're ever playing Elite Dangerous, look up Tony Curtis, and he is one of the saltiest people out there. Like, he will stream snipe you until you rage quit, and I love the guy.
No, I think that my rule is I don't mind if people come in and troll me personally, but I don't let them take it on in chat. I don't let them, there's no arguing with other viewers, stuff like that. And you're not going to do any of the hate or, anything that would get me banned off Twitch or anything, but a little salt can kind of spice it up. And that doesn't bother me too much. I just don't let people take it out on each other in chat. I don't think that's a good way to go. But yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we've been able to raise a lot of money for Star Citizen, because we're really giveaway centric. And when I first got partnered, I got so much shit and kind of got snubbed by some of the streamers that I really like a little bit, because it's like, oh, this guy's using giveaways to get partnered and all that stuff. But I was very proud of the fact last year we raised over $15,000 for Star Citizen in giveaways exclusively. Yeah, so we were able to give all those out. So people got hooked up, and it was really fun. I didn't make any money, but it was really fun to do, and it did hype up the channel and stuff. So it's good. Yeah.
I won't name any names, but I remember partnered, and a good friend of mine, he tweeted out. Oh, hold on a second. You want to say hi? Say bye.
So I'm kind of laughing because my cat is stuck in a box behind me. I can hear her struggling to get out.
There's so many inappropriate jokes I can make right now about cat trapped in a box behind you, but I am going to leave them all alone because I haven't drank enough to do that. And
so keep drinking, and we'll get to those later.
We're still too sober here, but
as I was saying, I remember you getting partnered, and I was like, "Sweet, congrats!" Yeah. Like, I've only caught your stream a couple times because we conflict in times. Yeah. But one of my friends was if you got partnered because your channel is giveaway centric, you will eventually lose all viewers when you run out of giveaways.
Yep.
And I was like, well, just don't run out of giveaways.
Maybe.
Seems to solve that problem.
See, the problem, and this is something I always advise people, my method is not for everybody because my method is about giving back to people and using their money constantly to give back to them. So when there's donations, it goes back out. I live off the subs, and that's it. And I set those ground rules to begin with. So when things dive down, like in January 1st, we had 520 subscribers. We're really hot. I mean, it was really good for me. 520 is amazing amount of subs to me. Since Star Citizen Hype's kind of dipped down, we're back down to around 200. The giveaways aren't as big. It's not as hype, but it's like all the money that comes in still goes out. Like at this point, we've almost raised $1,000 for a trip to CitizenCon. So we're going to see if we do that. But if we're unsuccessful in having that trip happen, we're doing all that money in giveaways for the channel. All the money is clearly translated. We always tell everybody what it's for, where it's going, all that stuff. And I think that's why my followers and stuff are very comfortable with my channel setup, because it's never like, oh, just here comes all the money and where to go. Everybody knows what it's for. When we do charity stuff, we let people know on that. We always give 5% back to Child's Play. And we just try to keep it giveaway centric for those people, just to hype up games that we really love and support. So,
hey, buddy.
Yeah.
No.
It's awesome.
Yeah. See, with me, it was a little bit different. I was doing really good because I streamed Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I love space games. And what I do professionally has really bled into being able to play these games and get away with it, even while at the office sometimes. Yeah, my job's awesome, but I had internet issues for about 3 weeks, and then I had a death in the family, and I had to leave. And I went from streaming to 50 to 60 people a night to 7.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so F everybody else. I'm gonna take these 7 and just make it a damn good time for them. And I've grown that 7 to like 40.
That's good.
It's one of those, if I fire up a stream and I have a good night, even on my bad nights, I have this core group of people that are there. People pop in for giveaways because every bit of money I get in for the donation either goes to equipment, cons, or right back into the stream for giveaways. Like, I have game cards, I have Steam cards, I have random stuff that I just give away all the time. But it's like the same thing. Is everybody knows what's up. This is about growing my core audience. I don't require you to follow for giveaways. I don't require for anything. You just have to be present because, if you're going to pop in, get a free game code, and then bounce out, okay. That's fine. But what I want is to make sure that the core group of people still know that they're a core group of people.
Yeah. I think that's a good approach, too. It's definitely a good approach.
Yep. I mean, stream like no one's watching. That's what they say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's just
which is a lot harder than people think. It's one of those. They never tell you the hard part when nobody shows up.
Right.
Or you get the somebody else goes live and you watch your numbers go boop, and just drop down. It's like,
it can be disheartening for sure, when you see dips and stuff like that. But the thing I always try to remember too is like a lot of people will come check out your channel from clips. They'll come check out your channel for VODs. So even if you have only 5 guys watching you right now, there might be groups of people that watch you when you're off there. And if you aren't still being you and you aren't presenting your best self each time, they're going to see that clip where you're just kind of not talking to chat. They're going to see where you're just staring at the screen. And it's got to be enjoyable for you, or you have to make your situation enjoyable to really kind of rise above and, have the audience enjoy it, have yourself enjoy it, and just make it overall a good experience each time you get on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another thing that gets me through is that occasionally I'll get those hosts from partnered streamers or other people that I just respect as well. And it kind of makes the whole situation a lot better. If I'm having a down night and then I have like the Astro Pub or DJ night or, like greats come in, and it's one of those, I'm like, okay, if somebody at their level believes pleb like me, like, then I should stop worrying so much about myself, because obviously they're trusting me with their 200, 300, 400 people.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
Well, and you're right. And a lot of that is also when I choose to host somebody, it's because it's somebody that I like to watch. I don't like to host. A lot of people's like, host this guy. And I'm like, well, I got to watch his stuff first, because I know if my audience likes similar taste to like what I like, that's what I want to present to them, and I think consistency in that is important. A lot of people try to just go raid somebody a lot bigger than them if they're a small guy, or there's other people that'll just try to raid people in hopes that they'll get that viewership right back, and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't think that way, because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration. And you only want to do raids when it's appropriate, and either help another guy out that you enjoy watching, or just kind of give your viewers that similar content to what you're doing and just carry that on. And if not, I say, don't host anybody. That's what I say.
I was playing Stellaris last night, and I hopped into my follow list, and I was like, okay, none of these people play Stellaris. None of them need any hosting at all. They're all doing fine. So I actually went and I hosted somebody I didn't know. But I was like, guys, no raid. Let's host. Let's watch. If you like, follow. Interact with this guy who's only got 10 people in there right now. Because, I mean, I know there was a fact of a time that any one of us here had nobody in chat.
Yeah.
But if I was like a week into streaming and somebody came in and dropped like 140 people on me, I would have melted into nothing. I would have shut down. A massive raid that early is not good. But, I was also, I'm very honest with them. Like, guys, I don't know this guy. Yeah. There's, we're going to host him. We're going to see how he's doing. Because you never know which one of these random people hosting to nobody is going to be absolutely amazing, and maybe we're all just missing out because you're reading numbers. And I was like, I played Stellaris for several hours. All of you here are Stellaris fans. Let's go within the game.
There you go.
And so I mean, if I look on my follow list and there's nobody, I'll look at the game I'm playing and see who's going there.
Sweet.
Oh
no, Mitachi has frozen.
No. Freeze there. There you go. Equipment failures.
Hey, now,
MLG Pro strats. Just don't trust your equipment.
This is actually kind of funny, because when I was on the Space Bros show, my camera froze.
I know. It's karma.
This is great.
It's happening both ways.
Oh, how funny.
We'll see what happens.
No worries.
It might come back. It might not.
Maybe
we'll figure it. It's okay.
And
At least I look like I'm totally stoned in the frozen picture.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
for sure.
It's like, dude.
Hey, man.
If it counts for anything,
Let
this
me
bottle
tell
was pretty close to full when I started.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I have work tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
And stream after this.
Okay, you can't blame me for anything.
Nah, it's okay. There's literally the CEO above me. Everything else is just me. Me being my own boss has worked out well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, Mitachi is working on getting his camera back up. Oh, there he goes. And he's back.
Gotta refresh. Bam!
Go ahead and mute yourself again on appearing.
I like how I just look over in time to see my beard swipe into Mitachi's spot and I'm back.
And then it throws the whole camera off. Now I'm red, and there you go.
Yeah, I that's pro tip right there.
Beautiful.
If your white balance is off, just cover the camera and let it go.
Seriously, it like readjusts itself. Okay, so Warframe is definitely something I've been getting into, and actually, Infrared, I have to thank you, because it wasn't for you and you streaming it, I probably wouldn't have started playing Warframe.
It's funny because I'm actually partnered with Warframe now, which is the first game that's partnered me. Despite the amount of hours I've pumped into other games, they were the first ones to actually, hook me up with a couple things. And it came up in the Warframe partner chat. I'm like, how did you get into Warframe? How did you get this done? And I literally answered with Walksley, Animated Break, DJ Night, and W Greats would not shut the hell up about the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally decided, like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a try, see what it's like. And I started late, like December, and I was partnered by January, where I'd already put in like 200 hours into the game. So it's it definitely gets its hooks in you for that, because it's one you could play for 15 minutes, or you can play for 3 or 4 hours too.
That's true.
You can hop into a couple of quick missions, and you get the fuck out.
Yep. Yeah, and then they so I'm not really familiar with the new patch that released. I'm probably gonna murder his name, but Frode Beck. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Ambulance Reborn.
Yes, and it's like he's back, and I was like, I just recently started playing this game. Can you explain like what that means that he's back?
I wasn't there when the Ambulance first came out, because it's been like 4 years in active development with users, and I wish I would have gotten into it sooner.
Yeah.
But the Ambulance was a robot endgame boss. Like, you would go into this mission, and that was the boss.
Oh.
However, it was really, really kind of easy to beat. So the Ambulance Reborn is they're going through, and instead of just having something, they actually wrote a story behind where somebody else took over the Ambulance project, rewrote it with better protocols, so the machine is harder to beat this time. If you've been playing for a while, it's still not that difficult, but the whole event was around that, and then you got a brand new weapon with it, you got a brand new stuff like that, which all kind of feeds into your mastery rank, and your mastery rank is how good you can be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ambulance is just basically a little two-legged robot that learns as it goes, which is the painful part.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I haven't jumped in and tried it quite yet. But this was a big patch. It just came out like last week or earlier this week, I think.
They do a lot of events. It was a weekly event. I think the Ambulance
Oh.
Yeah, and you got the Vandal Supra, which is this awesome coil gun. Its damage is a little low, but it's got a high fire rate and high mag capacity, so you can generally take them down. And then you can mod each weapon the way you see fit for higher damage or like a procs damage. So
Right.
it's all right. I still prefer a couple different weapons, but that's just me.
Sweet. Wow. And so you kind of cut out there, but you said that it ended.
Yeah, it would have ended earlier today.
No. I just
Warframe
barely
is
missed it.
amazing at having like week-long events. I mean, even if you hop in on any day, they have alerts that are only an hour long. That if you miss that window, one of the banes of my existence is Nitane. It comes in alert every 4 hours, every 4 hours, and the alerts last an hour long. I need 20 of them to be able to build a frame that I want. And because of my work schedule and then all the other games I play, I'll go a week or two without even seeing a Nitane alert. And it's just like, I want this amazing, beautiful frame that you have, this amazing character, and I can't get there. But, that's the way it is.
Gotta grind it out. I have actually really enjoyed playing Warframe, and it just kind of reminds me, like, to easily sum it up if anyone hasn't played Warframe before, is like Space Ninjas. Legitly, like, that's like the best thing ever.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, it's so great. Like, it can be super fast paced, or if you kind of pick a mission that kind of like I'm not super good at, kind of like the capture the point kind of thing. Those can be a little bit slower, but sometimes you just like get in, you get it done, you're out. It is grinding a little bit, but it's fun to. Ouch! Sorry, cat just bit my toe. I accidentally stepped on her tail. Sorry, Nidley. Um, but no, it's been really fun to play. It's actually been fun to play on stream even, and I wish you could squad up with more because I've now gotten quite a few viewers to join me, and I fill up the squad like within minutes.
Get used to using a queue system, and what I do is I set a either 20-minute defense or survival, and then I'll switch out, or a 3-run. We'll do 3 runs,
sweet.
and then I'll switch out. And the way that I do it is I do a 2-run rotation. So when I fill up, whoever is second gets dropped after 2 rounds, and then I'll put somebody else in. And then 2 rounds later, I'll drop that person. So everybody gets 3 or 4 rounds to play, but it's constantly changing each round. So it's one of those that you just want to make sure that you have the queue going and say, hey, if you want to join, queue up. If not, I'm running with these 3 people for the next hour.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I will have to try that because I always feel I'm like, oh shit, we're full already.
Queues are awesome for all these type of games.
They're
really nice.
Yeah. I mean, I use them in like Elite Dangerous when I'm doing that as well. Because anytime I get a chance to play with viewers or other streamers, I love it. That's what I'm in this for. I'm in this because nobody around me gives a fuck about flying around in space and mining an asteroid at all. But if I hop online and I throw up my stream, I all of a sudden have 30 people that are like, yeah, we can hang out, we can mine, we can talk. It's fine.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
It's good stuff. For sure.
Real quick, Mitt, I didn't know that you also played Warframe. What level are you guys at?
I don't play Warframe. They're totally trolling it.
Oh,
but I have watched quite a bit of it.
I think that's an enchantment.
I was like, what? I didn't know you played Warframe.
No, I don't. I watch Smashly, another fellow streamer. I watch her a lot. That's my total experience with Warframe is watching her play. And she is like a goddess at Warframe. She's like super speed runner. She knows everything by memory, and she's insane at that game.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't even
admit to shame. That's 100%.
Yeah. Whenever you see somebody that good play a game like that, you're like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just watch.
I'll just watch this.
So,
this looks great.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with me and like Star Citizen. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hop into Arena Commander. Oh, Hydra's playing? Pass. Like, Hydro Big Bang is an absolute like half machine god when it comes to destroying people. I swear he's integrated with the system.
Yeah. There's some people that are just amazing that. We've been catching a lot of hackers inside of Star Marine lately, and that's been a Reddit battle so far. I've had 3 posts pulled down because they're like, you can't name and shame people, but
Star Citizen has one of the absolute best policies around cheating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't do it or you'll lose your entire account. They will shut you down
so fast.
And for me, it's like slightly killing someone a little bit faster is not worth the time invested into that account.
Yeah, exactly. Because most people, especially if you've gone to the point where you're paying $50 for an ESP and a wall hack, you've probably dumped a few $100s in the game. You know what I mean? If you're the type of person to like pay for an alpha hack, then you're probably going to dump some money in there. And I like to think I've destroyed some people's lives as far as like losing their fleets because catching them hacking. So it makes me feel good inside.
I think my favorite moment in Star Citizen is actually happened recently. The first time I fired up Star Marine, I shot Geo Get Money in the face like 3 times in a row. And I'm like, yes! First kill was Geo? Nice.
That's always nice. And you know he was fuming about that crap.
Oh, yeah, I got him 3 times in a row. Like, because I kept running, and then next thing he rounded the corner again, and I dropped him again.
Oh, my God.
Yes!
Geo's reactions, if you can ever... if I go against him in either Star Marine or anything, if I can get him on their screen over here, I won't show it on stream, but just seeing his reaction while I murder him is the best ever. And I love Geo. He's one of my favorite guy. He's so great, but his reactions are over the top. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like killing him, and I like killing
I like killing him.
God.
I like killing him, and I like killing
if I can get Twerk or
Twerk.
Yeah, Twerk is fun to kill.
He is like, that's the biggest bullshit I've. Yeah, he's highly competitive. All the guys are pretty highly.
Yeah, Redacted is a competitive group of people, so
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like WTFO. If I can get WTFO, I haven't gotten him. I've gotten close, but I'm actually, I've become friends with him over the years. So
yeah, I've told him I don't call him salty anymore. I just called him sodium rich.
Sodium rich.
Sodium rich. That's his nickname that I give him now. So he's like, because sometimes he's like, "Oh, I'm getting salty, huh?" I'm like, "No, you're just sodium rich. You're right."
You're just.
Yeah, if you ever hear me say like I'm going back to the salt mines, it means I'm firing up Star Marine pretty soon.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna cry about this. It might be me. Not even gonna lie.
Right. Oh,
there's moments where I'm like, "Fuck this shit."
It happens. The rage happens sometimes. We can't help it, guys. We can't help it. Real quick, guys, if you guys ask any questions to Infrared Mike or Matachi, as soon as we get a break or towards the end of the stream, they all go into a Discord channel, so don't feel like they're getting lost. But I will type in here !! You guys can grab how to prefix your questions so that they go into that channel, and then we will grab them towards the end of the show. And yeah, Copper Kid, we will answer that. Cool.
And I'm generally brutally honest because I don't really care. I don't do this professionally, so.
Yes.
I apologize for my language. Here. I have legitimately no filter, so
okay.
I don't require it in my everyday life or even my professional life. I require virtually no filter.
No filter. Oh, man.
Yeah. It's in my talk show.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, definitely. If you guys have not checked out Warframe, it's free. It's on Steam. Just download it. Dive in. The only thing that there's nothing really that you can really pay to win. You really just pay for appearance. So you still have to do the grinding out. You still have to level up all your equipment that you get or anything like that. So it's a pretty cool game. I really
you can pay to rush things. Instead of waiting 3 days for something to build, you could pay a little bit of money and get it right there. Other than that, it's Fashion Frame. If you do want to start up, though, go to a partners page, Animated Break, Trainsy, DJ Knight, any of those guys, and get their partner link. Because once you sign up through them, you get 5,000 in-game credits and then a 7-day booster as well for experience and everything. So help out, and that both helps out, how much the company can help them out with giveaways and whatnot. And then, on top of that, it helps you out as well. There is, sorry, I see in chat, it's there is PvP now in the Conclave. So you can actually do builds and fight against people to win. And that is under rapid development as well. So it's going to expand the PvP aspect of the game.
Awesome. That sounds cool. Yeah, lots of new updates. And Infrared, you are partnered too. So if people can go over, you have a...
I don't think I have a partner link set up. I'm like unbelievably lazy when it comes to things. Oh, man. I've basically failed my way into success throughout my entire life, and I don't plan on stopping. I don't have Humble Bundle partner. I got Twitch affiliate somehow because somebody set it up for me. But other than that, yeah, if you're gonna go to that, I suggest going to the full-time streamers. This is a hobby of mine. It's my true passion, and I love it. Gotcha. But if you're going to support anybody, take on those full-time streamers who literally rely on everything they can get. Because I don't know if you guys know this, they dump so much of not only their money, their time, and their soul into streaming. They deserve every edge they can get.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. Yeah, and I do have a link to the list of people who are partnered. I know Exa Rose, Smashly,
Zeros.
Is that how you say it? Zeros?
Zeros, yeah.
Zeros. Okay, because I always just see Rose. I was like, I'll just call her. I actually got to meet her at PAX South.
She's a wonderful person.
She's also very...
There's quite a few that I know personally. Like Trainsy is an absolutely fantastic person. DJ Knight just got it, and I know that he's really pushing. He's doing the full-time streaming thing, and it's still kind of new to him. And he's an absolute great guy. Greats is another one that does it full-time.
Oh yeah,
there's so many good people that I want to help out. It's one of those that I realize if I ever hit the lottery, I'm just going to spend all of my money on Twitch.
Right?
Like I have these friends that I've built up from being here that if I could fund, I would.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, so definitely a lot out there. Check those people out and support them. And if you get it, you can always jump into a game with myself or even a friend Mike here.
Yep, I will always play with people.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so I will jump in to some Elite Dangerous now with you guys. I know both of you guys play Elite Dangerous, correct? Oh,
Matauchi, your mic is not. Yeah, Matauchi, we can't hear you.
Oh no, mic down.
Yeah, I personally play Elite Dangerous a lot. I play Elite Dangerous more than I play Star Citizen right now. That's mainly because setting up dual joysticks and a throttle in Elite Dangerous is a lot more simple in Elite Dangerous than Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And it's weird, I love the fact that they are so much different. Oh, sorry. I saw one of my viewers come into the chat and ask an amazing question. So, thanks, Alareth. I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually PAX East. I went in and I streamed from Frontier's booth, which is the biggest accomplishment I have as a streamer so far. Is the fact that a company wanted me to represent them at a convention, and it's amazing. Right now, there was a big story mission with the Salome event where Drew Wagar is an author for Elite Dangerous lore and other things like that. And he wrote an entire story, and it led up to this event in-game, where everybody in-game could impact the outcome. We all knew that the target was going to die because the trolls and the a-holes of any game is going to make that person die. But it was who, when, and how that was the interesting part. Other than that, we've been stumbling across a lot of generation ships, which are ships that were launched anywhere from 500 to 1,000 years ago that didn't have faster than light technology. They were the first real expansion after the World War III in the 2030s. And each generation ship thus far has been attacked by pirates or had a virus attack them, a religious uprising that caused everybody to be spaced. Essentially, it's a lot like Fallout in space. When you walk up to a generation ship you find and you're like, oh, what weird shit happened this time? Mm-hmm. But other than that, there's been a massive expansion. Aliens are here. They predict you mid-hyperspace, which is something players themselves cannot do.
Oh, wow.
If you're jumping through hyperspace, they can pull you out. And one thing I have to say is that I don't know what they pay the guys for sound and audio at Frontier. It is not enough. Because when that pulls you out of hyperspace and this massive alien ship comes around and scans you, it's got this sound that is just, it hits you you can feel it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that guy is not paid enough, because that is a sound that just grinds across your skull. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah. Matauchi, is your audio up yet?
I think it works now.
Hey, you're back.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, so I guess
I've only played a total of 5 hours of Elite Dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hey, but you played.
I have played it. I played it. It wasn't at the time. They've added a lot of stuff, and I encourage people who love space games to go try it out. At the time, they just hadn't added in as much as they have now. It's gotten so much larger. It's got so many other aspects to it. I think it's definitely worth people checking out and trying at least every space game just to see what's their flavor. And Elite Dangerous got some very interesting stuff to it. But it's just not for me necessarily.
I personally love the fact that Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen are different enough that they can exist within the same category and not conflict with one another.
Oh, easily.
I hate when people are like, "Oh, what's this?" Like when they announced moon landings on Star Citizen, people are like, "I've been able to do that in Elite Dangerous for a year and a half." I'm like, come on, guys! Like, it's going to be entirely different. Elite Dangerous is 400 billion star systems that you can explore, land on the non-atmospheric planets all you want, and each one is procedurally generated. However, you switch over to Star Citizen, and each one is, 60% procedurally generated, and then individually tweaked and honed by somebody.
Right.
So yeah, you don't have as many options, but the options are much more custom tailored. You're more likely in Elite Dangerous to run across systems that are very similar than you are in Star Citizen. And I absolutely love both of them to death. One major difference I've noticed, though, is the combat systems are way different. Elite Dangerous limits your yaw considerably, forcing you to pitch and roll considerably more in combat, whereas Star Citizen allows you to yaw more, but at the penalty of risking knocking yourself out, which I've done several times.
Talking from experience?
Yeah, I love it, and I'm good at combat. I use dual joysticks, which has been the best setup for me thus far. But there are occasions where I'm playing around in Star Citizen, and I'm like, wow, knocked myself out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's really no reason not to participate in both space games, especially when Star Citizen development takes long chunks of time before you get, the next higher level of stuff in there. So there's no reason not to play both.
With Star Citizen, though, there's this big thing about everybody freaks out about how much money they've made versus how much they've put out. And I look at them and I want to ask them, and this is a conversation I've had with Disco Lando, who is their community manager. And it's, okay, so we're building something on a scale that has never been done, with funding that has never been seen before, with an end goal that no one knows. So how much time will that really take?
And how much money will that take?
Yeah.
There's no way to tell.
And here's, I see a lot of articles pop up. Oh, Star Citizen has this much money. Why isn't there a product yet? And then one question I ask people is, go to the backers, go to the forums and everything. And not one of us is upset because we're invested in the end game. We're invested in this vision of a game. And will it succeed? Will it fail? We don't know. But there's so much behind it, and everyone at that company is so passionate that I personally do not regret any money I've put into that game. Yeah. I do not regret backing them. I do not regret any of that. And I feel that it will end up the way I want it to. And if it doesn't, we have given a better try than anybody else has been willing to do so.
Yeah, exactly. And just what Mad posted in there, yeah, the article that got posted to the Times was a great highlight. And I mean, there are, Infrared Mike, I have to say there's probably a little group of backers that are probably upset, but because there always are someone. You can't make everyone happy, right? But the majority of us, we are actually really happy, and we do have great trust and hope for everyone who has been working on this game. And even if when you look at other games who have been in development, we got to see this game start from basically day one. And we've been able to watch it grow this entire time. You don't get to see that with most games. And so a lot of people are like, oh my god, this game's been in development for 4 years. But if you take a look at, even GTA 5 or any of these other big names that aren't even related to space sims, you've seen that they've actually been taking 7 to sometimes 11 years of game development, but you don't hear about it.
Fallout 4 took 7 years, and it's
Exactly.
a critically acclaimed game. But they weren't.
And those are from
about
established
their
companies
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Well, and they weren't even public about the game until 6 months before launch.
Yeah.
They are literally changing the way that game development goes. Like Chris Roberts and CIG and RSI are an open book. This is what we're working on. This is what we're doing with your money. This is what we're trying for. This is our goal. And, you know, yes, I understand the complaint that this is what you promised in the Kickstarter, and this is what we have now. But the thing is in the Kickstarter, we were asking for 7 million. We're at 150 million. If you don't think that our view for what this game should be
didn't change
has grown, you are incorrect.
Yeah.
And I 100% believe that this game will never be finished. And I only mean that in the way that, will it have an actual release? Yes. But is the company behind this willing to say that we are done? And that's no. Never in a million years. This game is not, you know, it's not a simple one run and done. It's not a single player run and I'm out. They're building a dynasty style game where this game, once upon full release, is going to run for 20, 30 years after. They're going to update. They're going to keep up with every bit of technology that they can for as long as humanly possible.
For sure.
So you know, it's for that why I'm invested. If I thought this game was going to be like a 60-hour run through and I'm out.
Right.
Oh, wow.
No, I wouldn't put money in it. But if I know for the fact that I'm going to put 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 hours in this game over the next 2-3 decades of my life, then every bit of put into it is 100% worth it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Well, part of it as well is also that I know Disco Lando. I know Xylo. I've met a ton of people from CIG Studios, and their passion and dedication in it raises my confidence above anything else. Because you can have as many marketing guys or as many press guys that you want as you can get. But if I walk up to a community manager or a programmer or even some of the people that are just QA and they are so just undeniably passionate about the game, that sells me more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I mean...
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, if you see that kind of passion to people that you know see behind the scenes,
Linda,
and they see all that stuff way back there that we don't get to see, even though they're so open development, then you know they're doing great things. Because I mean, there's no hidden like, oh yeah, it's a nerd day at work. They're always excited whenever you interface with them, and they're always happy about what's coming, and they're always know that we're going to be happy. And I'd say, as much as a lot of us feel the up and downs of like it being developed, it's like we're always happy with what we get. We always are.
Yeah, I want the end game as much as anybody else. Yeah. Like I want it now. I want it 2 years ago. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I talk to them and I'm like, I've had good conversations with, Disco and Xylo and like Underscore and a bunch of other people, and it's one of those that I look at them and they are as sympathetic as we do. They want the end game as much as we do. But that end point is not something we can rush to and have done correctly. So it kind of pops into the thing is like, do you want it done quick or do you want it done the way that we're looking? Do you want it done right to the vision that we've set out?
Yeah.
And me, I'm willing to wait. I'm willing 100% to wait because I believe in those people that I've met within RSI and CIG. Those people that I know for a fact they're near perfectionists. Mm-hmm. They want it done right. And you look at this and they will look at every aspect and they will say, will what I'm doing now make it better? Or is it something I can release now? And if the answer is we can make it better, they do. There's not been a single complaint I have about the way that they have implemented things because at the time it was the absolute best it can be. And they're just one of those companies I know for a fact are going to keep pushing for that perfection and that step up, and they want to make it happen. And for me, it's like, okay, I can back this. Your passion, you've sold me on this. And I know that's not that way for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime people hop in, as I said, I play more Elite Dangerous than Star Citizen at the moment. And people hop in, they try to bash Star Citizen, and I want to stop the comparison in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, guys, I 100% back Star Citizen. Elite didn't get the $140 million backing. So they're having to release incrementally seasonal releases to build their game. And they're going in so many different directions that each one is willing to accept the other.
Yeah, I mean, they're both very different games when you take a look at what you can do within the two. And I think it's great that even as a person who streams Star Citizen also streams Elite Dangerous, which is why I've been actually looking into getting into it as well, because then you can kind of firsthand say, like, no, they're actually two very different games. I stream both of them because, I play both of them because I get two different objectives out of each one. And just watching, this build out of this game, Star Citizen, has just been awesome to be a part of. And the crew is amazing there. And I think that, like you said, like Captain's Island and everything, I actually just was in Austin and got to visit their office. And
nice.
You're so lucky.
It was just great. Like, that whole crew, there's so much NDA stuff I can't even talk about, but it's just amazing to see. Like, there's so many things that they've actually have done that we haven't seen yet. And I think that if you ever have that opportunity, or if you're ever doubting the game or whatever, just hang tight. Like, don't be bashing it yet. Let it finish.
Yeah, well, the hard part for me is we don't know. There's so much unknown with Star Citizen. When is it going to hit release? When is Squadron 42 actually going to come out? Like, when is this going to be done? But I don't know. The hopeful part in me is this is what I wanted all my life about a space sim. Yep. This is what I've wanted. I've wanted to build up to this point where I can hop in and I can be a pirate. I can be a businessman. And, a lot of stuff has brushed that. But, I mean, even in the past, like Wing Commander, Privateer, Eve has brushed that. Lightly, but Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous are taking different approaches, but they are both trying to make that dream a reality. And our technology at this point is to the point where it can happen. I can hop in and I can be a pirate. I can steal your ship. I can steal everything you have. I can pay the price for doing that. I can build a second life. I can build that reality. But it's not quite there yet.
That's their plan. That's their future. I mean, that's what we've been seeing in everything. So, I mean, you can choose your career in Star Citizen. And that's just what's so exciting.
I think if anybody can point to something negative about Star Citizen, they really can't point at the game itself, in my opinion, because it's not done. How are you going to judge a game that's not done? Right. Because it's always changing. It's like when everybody freaked out about the golf swing thing on Scares. It's like, we haven't even seen it. And so people are like losing their minds. Like, oh my God, this is the worst idea ever. I'm like, we haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm sure there's more to it than just that. Why don't we wait and see what's up? If you can point to anything that actually, there might be some challenges with, and one of the things I've been the most critical of is obviously the method in which they hype stuff, and then sometimes it's not delivered around then, and they've made that mistake a few times, where it's like just like before CitizenCon or anything. But the game itself, I mean, standing on itself, I could play Star Marine for hours. I could go around the PU. They drop a space station like when they did with Grimex. And we got months of gameplay, just emergent gameplay out of just them dropping a space station in there.
Exactly.
There's
One of
always
those
so
things
many
that'll
times
never be done.
you can look up Darnell's dumbass though at those stations, and that I
Yeah.
think that's where it comes down to. That it makes it hard.
Yeah.
Is the focus on ships a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, check out this brand new merchantman concept that we have.
Yeah.
But they don't have this like, hey, here are 10 new missions you can run.
Or the
they
ships
have
don't
those.
fully do what they're supposed to do yet, right? Like the Starfarer. You
Yeah.
can't refuel with it. Here it is. But you can't refuel with it yet. Because those game mechanics aren't in. But
There's so many concepts that they have, but if I could get one message to the guys at CAG and RSI is give us 2 or 3 extra missions now and then.
Yeah.
That would drive so much content for all your streamers, all your hype people, everybody who's already invested. If you could do 2 or 3 missions per patch, even if it's a little patch, even if it's a little mission, it would make a world of difference.
Well, and I think that's where we draw the whole issue of the Delta Patcher not being in yet. And hopefully we'll see it sometime this year, because then they'll be able to do those incremental patches. Maybe we'll start to see content delivered in a different way than dropping a 32 gig download.
Yeah. Oh, great. 30 gigs before I can play? Awesome.
It's like we changed the color of the Super Hornet. Go ahead and download 32 gigs. And some people are just like, yeah.
Those patches can definitely be massive.
I mean, it doesn't limit me because I can download as much as I want, but I have a lot of friends that literally cannot download the game when we go through these phases until there's a full live stable build out, because they don't have the bandwidth. They don't have that kind of data allocate where they can download a terabyte of data just to test the game. So
yeah, you're like, I'll be hanging on to that for a moment. Yeah, and I mean, eventually that'll help when as development keeps going.
It's like, oh look, we added in a few things. It's like 50 meg worth of update. Those things will help a huge amount.
Totally.
I think, and everybody's, and also I think as streamers we're pretty responsible in deflating hype. Like everybody's really hyped about 3.0. But I'm like, they're adding these things, but they're not adding in everything we've talked about over the last year. You're going to have a certain portion here, and you probably won't get everything you were thinking was in 3.0 until 3.2, which will probably be next spring by the time you get all those elements. So
I have that issue with Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, though, because people are like, yes, when are we going to walk around? And I'm like, in Star Citizen or Elite? Because Star Citizen,
Star Citizen walk around now, you just have nowhere to go.
In Elite Space Legs, that's an entirely different thing. And they don't understand. They're like, okay, well, why can't we just add this in? And I'm like, well,
it's a little more involved than that.
Yeah.
You can add in walking around, but what are you going to do? What missions are going to step up? How are you going to carry things? Like, what is a skeletal structure?
Yeah.
The company I work for is Natural Point. I run Track IR myself. I run another one, SmartNav, which is assistive technology, and the third branch is the branch that trumps all, both of mine, is 3D motion capture. So there's times where I look at them and I'm like, just getting the people to walk over to an object, to pick it up and carry it and move it to another place is a lot of work.
It is. Yeah.
And that is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Because they have to have an advanced skeletal structure.
Yeah.
They have to have a 3D environment. They have to have objects to pick up. They have to have a place where objects can be set down. Like, it's not this just straightforward A to B. A to B is a ridiculous up, down, left, right, every direction you can think of to get to those two.
All those variables, all those animations, all that stuff.
But as an end user, not in the industry, you don't know those nuances. Simply changing the color of a ship requires permission from one person and 2 or 3 individuals to get along.
Yep.
And as the end user, you get that beautiful, like, oh, they just went through and they ran this whole thing and it was amazing and it got this end product. But you don't see the 7, 10, 12 years of these people just working 80 hours a week to put in everything they have to make this beautiful project. And where Star Citizen differs from everyone, and even Elite Dangerous to a point, is this is what we're working on. This is what we have. This is how many people we have focusing on it. This is what this guy's focusing on this week. This is what this guy's focusing on this week. It's a whole new game. No one in the history of gaming has ever been as open as these companies are now. Yeah. They're changing the industry 100%. And I think that just takes it back to the point where I believe in what Chris Roberts and what David Braben are pitching, what their end game is. And I'm willing to wait the 3, 4, 5 years to make that happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's what we've all kind of committed to. At least the three of us here, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end result.
Yeah.
And actually,
unfortunately, there's a vocal minority that are on the forums that don't.
Right.
I was going to say vocal minority in life in general.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, no, I'm definitely really excited for Star Citizen, and just being a part of the project, and even the glitches are just kind of just fun to watch and experience or whatever.
My only message to people related to Star Citizen at this point is if you're getting frustrated, if you're mad about anything related to any video game, it's a game. Walk away, play something else for a while, come back when there's more shit involved with it. It's okay. There's just way too much salt that builds up on people, not just related to Star Citizen, but any game I've seen in development. And let's be honest, I'd say over 70% of the games I play now are clarified in alpha, because that's like the new marketing strategy for video games in general. Everything's an alpha, so nobody's liable or responsible for anything. But yeah, it's like just play something else. There's a variety of games coming out every week for something to do. There's so many patches, so many updates. They're being competitive, but people want to get their product out early before it's done. You want to see it right then. They're trying to give it to you right then. Just stay involved. I plan on hopping back on to Black Wake soon because I haven't checked out some of their new updates. And there's all kinds of games out there. And there's more I have to follow up with just with all the updates of games. So don't get too salty about anything. If you want to say something, state your point, move on, don't dwell on it. It'll be okay.
Be super happy that space games are getting this massive revitalization, because we had a dead zone for like 15 years where I was just fiending. And because I remember playing the original Elite. I played original Elite. I played Privateers. I played Wing Commander.
Freelancer.
And then there was just this dry spot where Eve came in. And I don't like Eve. I don't care for Eve. It's like, I hate to say it because there's so many people that I know that I love it.
8 years Eve Online.
It's one of those that I can't do because it's not what I think space sims should be, especially in the industry that I work in. I know what space sims can be.
Right.
I know what they will be. I know what is coming because, like, I just built a $10,000 PC for a couple people that were working to capture data for marker relations at 16 gigs per terabyte of data output. Mm-hmm. I know what's coming.
Yeah.
And Eve was not that. However,
I would say, though,
Star Citizen is.
In defense of Eve, though, I will say the things they've brought to the table. Now, Eve is quite dated. It's been around almost 13 years now. Yeah, I stopped playing Eve about 3 years ago. And I've done everything that could be done in there. I mean, there's not a lot more they can update with the way they've got their engine built and all that stuff. But the social dynamics of Eve, the gameplay interface of social interaction between people, territory control, how the overall organization's permission systems work are amazing in that game. And I hope they bring all of that, including the interdiction model, to Star Citizen. Mm-hmm. I really hope those things. Now, the overall click over the top stuff, yeah. I mean, you're not going to get that. You're getting a much more verbose experience inside Star Citizen, first-person interaction, real bridge crews running around, people helping each other, working as a team to keep your ship alive. But a lot of the different aspects I see that were developed as player control systems inside Eve would fit beautifully in this universe, and I really hope they bring them to the table here. I really do.
Eve did what they could with what they had, and they were absolutely top notch.
Yep.
I'm not disparaging Eve.
5,000 player fights. It's amazing.
Yeah, they had amazing things. But personally, it was not what I know Space Sims can be.
Yep.
And I know for a fact that CCP is going to be growing with the technology. Eve is not their end game. They're not like, oh, one game, we're done.
I wouldn't shoot to try to make a game that came out in 2003 or 2004 either, though. So
yeah,
it's like
they have stuff that we're not seeing, that they are making. And I feel like eventually they're just going to drop this bomb on us, that they're going to be like, this is Eve 2.0. And we're all going to be like, oh, shit, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Because they have the money and they have the dedicated players.
Yep.
But right, as I said, with Eve, it was one of those like, yes, it filled that void a little bit.
Yep. It's the people that make it because, and that's the other thing with CIG. I hope they never go the route of Eve advertising, because Eve would show you these amazing commercials that look like a dogfight, and you get in there and it's like top down clicking. So it's a lot of people are thrown off by that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it was amazing.
I have that problem,
and it's like
with Elite Dangerous. I love Elite Dangerous.
Yeah,
I play it more than I play Star Citizen right now.
Yeah,
it is one of my favorite games. I am 100% devoted to that company.
Terrible commercials.
Their commercials are the same as Call of Duty commercials, where they're like actual in-game footage, and I'm like, okay, that means actual in-game pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Nothing two different things.
Gameplay. Yeah.
Now, one of my issues with Elite is everyone's like, okay, I got my Anaconda, I'm done. What do I do now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, the ship is the vessel that gets you point A to point B. The game is well more than what ship you have. And it's that way with Elite or Star Citizen as well. They're like, okay, I have this ship. Yeah, I'm done. And I'm like, no, you've just only started because you finally have that ship. Like, you can own every ship in the game. And owning the ships is not the point of the games. If you're looking to find an end game in 60 hours of gameplay, these are not the games for you. You can go and play something else. If you were looking for,
I was winning at Star Citizen because I have ships.
Oh,
I'm friends with with Clifford, aka Miku.
Yes.
So
Clifford. That guy.
Man,
he's already won Star Citizen, hasn't he?
About 4 times over, from my estimation.
Yeah, he's won.
But he's one of the best models of what Star Citizen can bring out in a person, because he has the disposable income where he can spend $45,000 backing a game because he believes in the company and their end vision.
Yep.
And I'm one of those people that I look at it, and my rough estimation is every dollar I put in, do I get an hour out of entertainment? So if I'm going to spend the $60 on a game, am I going to get $60 out of it?
Right.
And sometimes you win that gamble, sometimes you lose that gamble.
Yep.
With Star Citizen, I feel like I could dump all of my excess funds into, and I will get that dollar per hour return in excess. I personally only have 4 ships right now. And the one I'm the most proud of is the Vandal Scythe, because I fucking earned that ship by beating the Vandal Swarm.
Nice.
There you go.
That was no easy task, and I value it more than any of the money I had to put in. Mm-hmm. I can tell you 100% right now, if I were to win the lottery tomorrow, one of my first purchases would be the $15,000 completionist package, followed by all the couple of ships that aren't included, because, that happens.
Yeah, I think they need to update that completionist package. Because
a little bit.
They've definitely added some ships to that, and it should be like the completionist cabinet 2 or something, and then now that's the complete package there. But Yeah, it's funny because I actually I do know of someone who isn't very open about how much they've spent on Star Citizen, but they are about in the same price range as Clifford Miku, and
Right?
and it's crazy, and it's like it's so
Mhm.
great to see that they are willing to support such a fantastic game and project that's just been wonderful. So yeah, I mean, I wish I could, just there you go.
I apologize,
TIG.
but give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta go run and take care of something.
Yeah, no worries. I know I'm like slowly running over here. Sorry, I was a little distracted there. Um, people behind this green screen were yelling at me. I got a package in the mail, which is kind of funny because it's from Witch Kitty.
Oh.
So I just got a Canadian package in the mail, and if you guys hang tight at the end of this, I will open up the package. I'm pretty sure I know what is in this. So yeah, that will
Can't
be
wait
fun
to
open.
find out.
Yeah, that will be fun to open. I'm actually gonna look around like I should probably grab scissors, but we can hold here. But
Okay.
Papa Roo was like coming in, was like, "There's a package for Roo Smash," and I was like, "Shh," like I'm streaming. But then I was like, "Oh wait, I know what that package is." Is it snow? Yeah, it most likely is snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will open that at the end here. And also, guys, if you have any questions for Infrared Mike or Mitachi, make sure to get them in. Prefix them with bracket Q in bracket there. And we'll capture them. They all get put into a Discord channel so I can pull them so they don't get lost. And we will answer them all towards the end here. And Mitachi, while I have you here.
Yeah.
And alone. No, just kidding.
Oh, baby.
I know you've been working on something. I don't know if actually you really want to talk about this, but I know I've been hearing about it. But the Stream Theory show that you've been working on, can you talk about like what's been going on there and what your plans are for that?
Okay. Well, it's still under development, and I'm trying to make sure I have all the systems put in place.
Okay.
Basically, the Stream Theory is starting out as our new podcast I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be all about streaming and just different people's experiences. We're also hoping to get different broadcast providers, all sorts of different elements to help people, not necessarily provide an expert opinion, but just share experiences and ideas and network people together who are of all different varieties streaming. And we're hoping to build a...
I'm sorry that I've upset you, sir.
He's angry! But yeah, we're definitely
You can have a
hoping
couple
to kinda
seconds of
grow that.
fame.
So there
That's
you go.
awesome. I'm actually really excited, and I know I've been seeing a little bit back and forth and everything. So
Yeah.
keep us posted and keep me posted. I definitely do talk about it on my stream.
Absolutely.
When it pops up or when people have questions about streaming. Hey, welcome back, Infrared Mike, and we have a little one.
All right.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
this is boy number 4.
Boy number 4.
Yep. At some point, you just number them,
Hi.
right?
Yeah. It's actually funny. Like, I made this joke the other day about. It was like a year ago. I was like, "You just don't name that something you may have to kill." And then I was like, "Go away, boy number 3." And my mother-in-law's face was fantastic.
Okay.
She was like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't plan on killing any of them." This one though, I mean, like, I don't know, the hair color difference. He's got blue eyes. Are you the mailman's kid? Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's
Hilarious.
he grabs the dual joysticks. This
See?
one, out of all of my kids, I think is going to be the one who is more like me than anything else. Yeah. Can you say bye? Okay, buddy, you gotta go play now before we get banned. Say bye.
Yep. I give my son a 30-second window, and then I'm like, "You gotta go for Twitch efficiencies."
Well, my channel, has a mature rating for a reason. It's because I can't control myself in social environments.
Gotcha. Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
I have
do
no
hope-
idea how I've gotten to be the public representative for an entire product line of a company acting the
go.
way I do. But for some reason, I get in places and I enjoy conversations with great people like tonight.
There you go.
That's how
I would like to say, though, related to kids, though, I do hope that one day, with all the other channels that they're making on Twitch, that they'll provide us a channel where we can play games with our kids that are under the age of 13, interact with them. Because, you know, all these YouTubes and stuff, my kids love, they're like, they don't understand why they can't get involved with me live on the air. And I think as long as you're a parent and you can do that stuff, I would love to play some of their games with them live on the air and just like kind of get that experience with them.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, my 7-year-old doesn't understand. He doesn't get why he can't be here for very long.
Exactly. Same,
and I tell him, I'm like, because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
And I'm a very crass individual.
Yeah.
That I have to have a mature rating. And unfortunately, you are significantly under the age of 13. So even with my consent, you can't be here.
Yep. Yeah. The Twitch just says no go on that if you're under 13. They don't care the reason. I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of legalities.
There is.
But, you know, I actually went to Social Media Marketing World, and they had a group of teenagers who were between the age of like 10 and 14 who were huge YouTube stars, like huge YouTube stars. And they got flown in and they had a panel with these, I guess, teenagers or kids, and just talking about like how they enjoy it. And it was actually really beyond interesting to me. And they were kind of like, they had people who kind of like took them around and everything, you know, so that they didn't get lost or whatever. And then they actually even showed up to the party that night, which was held at a bar. And I was like, how did they get them in there? But they did have like some kind of security guards.
It's all about who you know.
Watching them, and they were only there for like a certain amount of time, and then they had to leave. But they definitely honored the fact that these YouTubers, who are very, very young in age, have been able to like grow a channel and engage either other adults, or even the same age as them. And it's fantastic. And I think if Twitch doesn't tap into that, they definitely should, because it's definitely, video is where our world is moving to, and getting young kids like that into that thing and learning and how to do it and everything and trying it.
It's a huge market too.
It is.
Well, I think that one of our biggest failures as a species is not fostering these natural abilities that these kids have. Because it's not like being able to collect a viewer base of 1 million subs on YouTube is easy. It's something that comes natural to these kids to be in front of this many people and be entertaining. Just the same way that it's natural to some kids to be very scientific or very, mathematic. And we just don't foster that.
Yeah.
And I would really love to see Twitch be like, okay, there are some people that are absolutely amazing that happen to be 12 years old. Like, I mean, there's stories all the time about these kids who do these absolutely astonishing things, like get accepted into several Ivy League colleges at 14.
Yeah.
However, when it comes down to, YouTube and Twitch and social media, they're wildly ignored because they're not 18 years old. It's like, are you kidding me? That kid is going to be more successful in his 12 years than I have been in my 32 years of age. There are some people in this world that are just special. Yeah. And we need to foster that. And we need to take it to the next level. If this is what they're good at, is reaching people and being entertaining and bringing content or information to the masses, we need to take that and we need to hone it in, and we need to make it bigger than it can possibly be as it is right now. Because if we're not taking it to the next level, what are we going to wait on? The next generation to do it? And we've seen how far that's gotten us this far.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and I think it's definitely something that as Twitch has been purchased by Amazon, we've already been seeing changes coming through. They have the Twitch Prime now, which kind of has its own perks to that. Now they've released this affiliate program with Twitch, which I don't think that would have happened without having the support of Amazon, just because they grew so massively large that they were able to kind of expand out to, outside of the partnered group, even to these other people. We do spend a lot of time streaming and working on stuff. That it feels nice to kind of feel appreciated when it's like, hey, I might not be partnered yet, but I do stream on here a fuck ton, Like, come on.
Well, one thing that people don't realize about Amazon is they make a ton of revenue, but they don't make a ton of profit because they reinvest in everything that they have.
They really
which
do.
is why Amazon is as large as it has. Instead of pocketing that extra off the top, they have doubled down and they have put everything right back in. So
I work with the
first
company
wave of like affiliates is kind of crazy, because they set the bar, at a relatively low level because they want to capture everybody. It's gonna happen. And you were saying you work for a company that's like that as well?
I do, yeah. It's a small franchise, and every time, they really don't make a huge profit, or the people there's 3 partners involved, but they don't really pocket cash from it. Like, they've always made this joke every time we meet, like, hey, it would be nice, after 4 years we could make some kind of income off this business we've started. But in the reality, they just know that's just how it is, growing it, and they see a future here. They see, growing themselves is only going to get larger and larger, so why pocket it now? Pocket it later when it's larger. So they just keep putting it right back into, a business that they've started.
Well, and in that aspect, they're building the foundation of the life they want to lead.
Yep.
They don't want to be a soulless corporation, and Amazon's really good at this. They don't want to be one of those just nameless figures on some stock trading list.
Right.
They want to be, I work for them because I work for them because I believe in them. They're going to reinvest. They're going to pay me what I'm worth. They're going to reinvest in what they have. And yeah, who cares if they're super rich, because the amount they put back in doesn't matter. That's a whole societal issue. A lot of people, worry about the super rich because they're not putting it back in the company. When you look at some of them like Nike, nobody cares how much the CEOs of Nike make because they dump it all back in. They put it all back into like college sports and advertising and building the company. So nobody cares how much money they make. Amazon's the same way. They have the Prime. They've brought up Twitch. They've brought up their streaming services, and nobody cares how much money any of them make because the amount they put back into the system makes it be like, all right, cool, be as rich as you fucking want.
Yeah,
like, you can own a helicopter. I don't care.
And yeah, they've made a name for themselves. That's
yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely being a part of Twitch has been fantastic, and where they're moving to, or these new ideas that they've been putting out, has been really cool to be part of.
Yeah, I have one really good friend in real life, and he's IRL? Currently staying with me.
IRL, this you speak
like,
of.
I have this massive group of like 3 people I know that I really respect and I enjoy their opinions. And Twitch has given me this opportunity to grow out and meet new people that share the same interest I have. Like, this show, for instance, where it's like I'm literally just getting drunk and bullshitting about video games. And those are 2 of my favorite things in the world. Like,
that is why I created this show. Just so that, like, we are streamers, we are a community of people that, like, it's so much fun when we run into each other, at, cons or whatever, and sometimes we just don't even get time to, like, hang out in each other's streams or whatever, but, like, just coming together, just getting drunk and just bullshitting about what we've been up to is just so great. Like, I just love it, and it's just such a great way to just stay connected with everyone. It's been awesome.
Well, I actually use me and you meeting as an example of how Twitch is awesome. You and I met because of Star Citizen at PAX West in Seattle.
Yep.
And we talk and we bullshit this whole time. And it turns out that we legitimately live like 100 miles from each other.
It's true, actually.
We're in an afternoon's drive away from hanging out. You, in fact, know personally the person whose job I took working at the company I do because he moved to a brewery and tap house. Like,
That I know of and I
there's
work
this-
with. Yeah.
yeah, you know him by name and have met him in real life. And you and I have never met, even though you've been to the building that is 45 feet away from my office.
Yeah.
But we met 4 hours away at a convention over Star Citizen.
It's so great. Like, it's just
That's the stuff that I
Cool.
love.
That's really cool.
it is awesome. It is. Which is
Although
why
you
actually
do need to tell me the next time you swing by my neck of the woods so we can go have lunch.
I do, and I haven't made it up there yet. So yeah, next time I do, I should be heading. I was actually supposed to be there tonight. I can talk to you about that later. But I ended up, my company didn't send me up there, and so I'm here, right? Oh, that's so funny. Just how things work out. But yeah, I'll be making my way up there soon. We'll definitely meet up and hang out. Yeah, that's awesome. I really do love this community, and it's because of Star Citizen. I think that's another awesome, we didn't even touch on this, but the community of Star Citizen has just been so welcoming, so just fantastic. Like, every person that I've met who's played Star Citizen is like probably like the nicest person I've met. Like, I mean, I would
three best
consider-
communities that I know are Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, and Warframe.
Exactly.
Those are the three most welcoming because they don't give a fuck what you do outside of the games, but that you're playing games and you're part of the community. They are so helpful.
It's true.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But it's Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
What is this game?
Well,
you're
man.
talking about? I'm baffled.
You'll
I'm
know in
baffled.
2024, right?
Yeah, we'll all be jamming then.
Oh man.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's definitely been awesome. And actually, another game that's been really awesome bringing people together is PUBG. And I know both of
Oh my
you
God,
guys been
PUBG.
playing this so hardcore lately, and I need to get
Oh my
this game
God.
so I can join you guys.
I haven't played since beta, but it is
Oh my god, I play every night.
1,000% worth it.
I can't help myself.
Battle Royale on the best possible scale.
It's
Right?
so
It's-
bad when I have all these Star Citizens in there, and most of the time they're all like, all right, let's do Star Marine, all this stuff. And the minute PUBG started getting into my stream cycle, now they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, you did really well in Star Marine. So when you get fire up PUBG, you get people waiting in my queue lobby, ready to jump in game with me. It's like, oh, Matachi's on. Oh, PUBG. And you see, like, I'll have PUBG on in the background, and you'll see my friends list go, boing, 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 boing. He's on now. And I'm like, all right, we're going to try to play some Star Citizen first, though, guys. Let's do that for a little while. And then, like, it happened the other night. First game I jumped into Star Marine, there was a hacker. Like, literally killing everybody that spawned through the walls instantly. Everybody died. I'm like, well, so much for that. Time for PUBG. And it's like, it's one of those games that you can jump in, like you were describing before, Mike, where it was like you could jump in, and even for like 15 to 30 minutes, you can have a blast, and you never know what's going to happen. You really don't know the outcome. So we love playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, PUBG is one of the best games to hop in and be like, okay, I have an hour tops to stream. I may do 2 number ones. I may do 5 85ths. Like I may hop in and just kill it. Yeah. And sometimes on PUBG, you get so unbelievably lucky. Like hopping into the first one and getting that like sweet 10 times scope and that Scar H, and then meeting nobody until the final 10.
Yeah,
because
or you can get completely geared out, and you have a circle proc that's nowhere near you, and you die with all this good gear that you could have like owned with, and you never had a chance to do anything with it. It's like, oh my god, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, see, I've had the opposite of that luck happen, where I land and I'm within the same vicinity as somebody. I never saw them. They got that sweet 10 scope sight, and they got that sweet gun, and then they headshotted me right away and wandered off. You know, and it's like, well. You want to be salty, but also the benefit of PUBG is you don't have to wait. You're like, cool, that round was over. Next round, let's get in this.
We'll just forget about that one.
Yeah, they have this constant lobby going too, where you never have to wait that long. And I think that's where their real success comes in. CQC for Elite, Arena Commander for Star Citizen, both suffer one. I mean, Star Marine as well. suffer one fatal flaw, and that's sometimes when I want to play, I hop in and I spend 10 minutes in a lobby waiting.
Yep.
PUBG, you don't have that problem.
Nope, you're in it to win it. Right
click. All right, game starts in 73 seconds. All right.
Yep.
I'm going to jump out here, and then I'm going to go for it. And they've put so much time and effort into that battle royale aspect. And it's another thing where they really know where their people are coming from, where it's the streamers that are driving this people there. Frying pan kills are amazing, right, Suke? That's you get a frying pan kill, you're a god. That's absolutely beautiful.
I feel like they kind of stole that from Tangled, and the only reason why I know that is because my sister's a huge
frying
Disney
pans.
fan.
Who knew?
Right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
We don't even call them frying pans now.
Mike. High five.
Because after the last build, they actually frying pans deflect bullets now, so we call them butt protectors. So you wear them. I'll be running away, and there'll be a guy shooting at me, and you'll hear ding. I'm like, yes, that last bullet that was meant for my ass just saved my life. My butt pan. My favorite.
I love how they know that, though.
I know, right?
They're a company that's one of the things is they've been involved with King of the Kill.
Yes.
Through H1Z1. They've been involved with Arma Battle Royale.
Absolutely.
And finally, when those reached their limits that they could possibly be, they were like, guys, if we want to take this to what we want it to be, we need to step it up and be our own game.
Yep.
And PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was born. Yep. And you get those amazing aspects where they listen to the community, and it's mind-boggling.
Yep.
You know, frying pan kills, right? Instead of being like, this is just some random overpowered melee weapon, they owned it. And they turned it into a thing where frying pan kills are amazing.
And now they've already got custom matches in where you'll see stuff like, crossbows only or something crazy in there.
Yeah.
So it's got all those dynamics. And the other thing I thought was really interesting is they have a lot of partnered streamers there, and they're not the big guys. Like, you can't get into their partnership now because it's closed. But for the guys they partnered, they put tags on their buildings. Some of the spray paint you see are the logos of the streamers that got involved with the game early. They integrated that in the game. It's so cool that they did that. I mean, it's just neat. And you see their partnered streamers, and these might be only guys right now that only have like 10, 20, 50, 100 viewers. And there's other guys that are way bigger that got like 3,000 people watch and play it. But yet that one guy's logo is on the buildings in the game. So it was cool that they recognize the people, the streamers that got involved with them early, helped support the game, and they gave them that identity inside the game permanently. And that's really neat. And I find that so
It's
cool.
actually funny because Dragoon TV is one of those people.
Yeah.
And I love that guy. I really do. It's fantastic because I've hung out with him in Seattle. I've hung out with him in San Antonio. I've hung out with him in Boston. He lives a mile and a half away from my office, and not once have I ever ran into him in the town that we both live in.
Yeah, you just see him in all these other places.
I've seen him at every convention.
Yeah.
But I've never seen him at the one town we reside in. But I love the fact that when I hop into, PUBG, I can walk up and I'm like, oh, cool. There's Bragoon's tag.
There you go.
That's awesome.
There's Anthony Kong Fan's tag. Like, these are the, embracing the, structure that you have and the environment and group of people that you have.
Yeah.
Is going to set them apart amazingly. Because if I can feel that I'm legitimately part of a game, I am infinitely more invested in that game. Yeah. I haven't played PUBG since the beta because I have not had the money to pick it up. Everything I have has gone back into the stream.
Yeah.
But I will sing the praises of PUBG everywhere anyone will listen.
Yep. Very fun game.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And what's actually
watch Green Man because they have discounts all the time at Green Man Gaming.
True. GMG. Gotta love that place.
Got a couple questions here, and then we gotta wrap up in a little bit.
I know we kind of destroyed your outline for the show, but
we did. It's alright. No worries. Like I said, it's all about just drinking beer and bullshitting about our nerdiness, right? Oh my god, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, okay, so you were saying their logos from these streamers. I actually love that Warframe kind of incorporated that a little bit too. They have the sprays, I think, now that you can kind of
glyphs.
The glyphs, yes, of the of basically the partnered streamers that they have, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely, I am so waiting for it to be able to put mine in there. I just want to see my face spray painted somewhere. Like, I know it's kind of selfish, but I really want to see that I've made an impact on a game. You know, right now my glyph is ESP for him. I have W Greats, I have Shoal Gaming, I have Daniel the Demon. But one thing they've done is they've taken it. It's like, okay, what's your logo? What do you want to see? All of our people in this game can now have access to that. And it's the way Warframe did is pretty interesting. It's limited edition. There's only so many codes you can get to unlock these glyphs. So you have to go in and actually watch the streamer and try to either, subscribe to them or follow them or win it in one of their giveaways to get access to this in-game content. And it costs nobody anything, but it's absolutely wonderful. And right now I'm running the ESP for him glyph because I love her. I adore her. She is so wonderful as a person. And I will randomly just spray paint it on the walls in the game because I have it and I can. And that intrigues people to be like, okay, who is this person? Why are they part of the game? Why do I need to see them? So it gives that give and take relationship that needs to happen between, streamer and company. Similarly, like I'm wearing an Earthfall t-shirt right now because that game is very recent and I know some of the people there. So it's, I play the game. They help me with stuff like merch or tweeting me out. And any game company that does that is astonishing in my book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Say bye.
Pretty cool. When it's always good when game companies support the audience and the streamers.
Yeah.
You say bye?
I agree because I feel like
Sorry.
There was someone else I ran into again at a social media marketing world who does marketing for basically like phone game apps, just like the just kind of maybe as we might call them apps on their phone. But what was interesting is I was talking to her and I even suggested to her, I said, what you could even do is have some streamers stream your game on Twitch or on Beam or whatever, and you would get a lot of exposure from that. It's a key of marketing that probably phone apps haven't tapped into that's available. And anyways, I can't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I took over for a marketing guy. You know him, Rue. You've met Seth. And he's a fantastic marketing guy. Actually, when he left, I got him a custom engraved 32-ounce beer mug that said "World's Okayest Marketing Manager." Okay. And I gave it to him. And I've taken over because I 100% myself believe as a community manager, I'm actually a product manager, but I run the community manager as well, is that the community has a larger impact than I ever will as a person. Noobifier has spoken the praises of Track IR everywhere. Same thing with like Bad News Baron, DJ Knight. Like these people have more impact than I could imagine to drum up myself. And if you're not taking advantage of, hey, I have this group of people that are truly passionate and in the industry and everything, what am I doing as a marketing or community or product manager? Because if you're missing out on that little step of just asking the community and seeing what they think, then you are not the right person for the job.
Yeah, no, it's true. Definitely true.
They take this networking is insane. You know as well as I do, Rue, Matachi, you know that networking can make or break you. So if you can't have a conversation with, like Matashi, like someone who streams at the same exact time as you and I stream at the same time.
Yep.
And I 100% can say that if I wasn't streaming, I would be lurking in your streams. I love it. I check out everybody I can. But there's these little tiny
out, guys.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing, and a lot of people don't realize because they think if you get partnered or something that you're just consumed with what you're doing yourself and all that. I think you're doing a disservice not only to your own audience but everybody else if you aren't aware of what other people are engaging in your community. I go through every single person that streams Star Citizen. I don't care if they have 0 viewers or 5,000 viewers, and I just want to see what everybody's doing. I want to see who they are. I mean, I want to find out who's passionate enough about a game that I like, whether it's Star Citizen, PUBG, or whatever, that they want to try to stream it, and I find that interesting. I think it's really cool. So I think it's always good to check everybody out. There's anybody that says, hey, I'm too big to look at this guy, then you're in for a downward turn eventually.
Yeah.
In that aspect, everybody's forgotten that people like Lyric or Co-Carnage or Summit at one point in time streamed to themselves and 2 friends that happen to tune in, or themselves and their bot. There's this moment where people think that Twitch is just this thing where I go in, I push a button, and all of a sudden I'm streaming games and I'm talking to 10,000 people,
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I spend all of my off time in Discord and on Twitch and networking and talking to these people who have the same passage. Or Jesus Christ, I am kind of tanked. Sorry, guys. Passion that I have.
It's all good. All good.
Yeah, this was essentially full, and I'm down to like a quarter of the bottle.
I know. It's like
okay. You have some.
I'm making up for the rest of you guys.
But chat really quick. I gotta be right back because I actually do need to go BIOS real quick.
let's take a break because I need to too.
Okay, real quick break. We'll be right back.
Break.
All right, chat. I'll talk to you guys.
Infrared Mike, you just chat all you want.
There you go. Quick break.
So basically, I'm amazing, and that's all you guys need to know. So, hey, you guys have any questions while I'm all by myself? Let's talk about Smash Citizen. Bar Citizens are so fucking fun. If you guys can go to Bar Citizen and find a way to actually, get to anyone near you, go. 100% go. Bar Citizens, you will meet some of the best fucking people ever. Not only will you meet amazing streamers, you will meet the people who work 60, 70 hours a week and actually just love the game. And they're all great. Thanks, Anarchos, for hosting Craft Brews and Nerdy News. My name is Infrared Mike, and I am slightly drunk. I like drinking. I'm good at it, guys. Bar Citizens are great. 100%. Hey, Waifu, thank you for hopping over. Waifu, do me a favor and please follow Rue Smash. She is an absolute delight. And you would 100% love her when she streams. Atlanta Bar Citizen.
Good night.
Night, buddy. If you guys can go to a Bar Citizen, I recommend it highly. There's always some sort of giveaway. You run into so many partnered streamers and just so many people that are passionate, that love the game. Matauchi, you've actually been to a couple of Bar Citizens, haven't you?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, man.
I am such a hermit, man. I live in Kansas City. Yeah, so I don't get the opportunity to geek out like a lot of people do because since I'm not on the coast, there's no conventions here. Closest thing I could go to is Chicago. But I'm
trying to actually build something up. I'm with Privateers Alliance, which was mainly Elite Dangerous, and we've branched out into other games. Yeah. But our board members are like Nevada and Kansas City and so many other things. And I want to get something going in Kansas City.
That'd be cool. I know there's about 6 or 7. There's some guys that tried to start something up here, but I think like 3 people showed up to the event.
We gotta work on it.
Stuff. Yeah,
I'll get
my
with you off stream.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the things too. It's like when you live in the Midwest, and I feel this for a lot of people because I've talked to other people who live in areas like Kansas, North Dakota, some of these other areas. And if they don't get out and travel and network and they're trying to stream and trying to do that stuff, I find that's the reason I have like a 24-hour like online presence at some level because that's how I network. I can't disengage from that because I don't get to go to the conventions. I don't do a lot of that stuff. And that's why it was such a big goal for my chat to try to raise money for hopefully to send me to CitizenCon, even though it's in Germany, because I've never left the country. I haven't even been to Mexico or Canada ever. So I've never left.
I hate you a little bit for being able to go to that.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. It could, and we said if we don't raise all the funding for it, then we're going to take all the funding we have and we're just going to give away Star Citizen swag on CitizenCon.
Or
you know what? Go to VerseCon. VerseCon is going to be the US-based celebration for CitizenCon, and you're going to have so many like streamers and companies that, like as I said, I work for Track IR, and one thing that I
try that out sometime. I've never tried Track IR.
We'll talk off stream.
We will.
But I'm working on it, and as I said, worst case scenario, if I can't financially back VerseCon, I'm going to show up with 5 or 10 Track IRs to just give away.
That'd be cool.
Because I want to invest in these people as much as I can.
that would be seriously
you can't
fantastic.
Make it.
If you guys don't know, I've actually been helping plan VerseCon, and I'm kind of working with the community with that, and it's been awesome. We have a lot of great things that we're planning. We are a little bit in a hold up right now because we're waiting for the dates to be released from CIG before we can really plan on stuff. And so, it's been a little bit of a holding point, which is kind of awkward because as much as we want to keep pushing this, just know it's going to be around VerseCon. It's going to be in Austin, Texas, a very good central point for anyone in the US who can't make that hike all the way over to Germany. This will be basically like CitizenCon if you went to the one in LA. It's going to be like that. Kind of we'll have events going from, Friday afternoon to probably Sunday if you can only make it down for about 3 days.
You know what would be cool, Rue? Is if I do get to go to Germany, if I could like remote broadcast back to the guys over there in Texas, and we could like talk like,
we'll chat.
Well, that'd be fun.
know for a fact, both knowing Rue personally and knowing like Paul Astrobub personally, that streamers are a big focus of VerseCon as well as they are with CitizenCon. It's a group of people that really understand that the community is what's making the game. So, worst case scenario, if you cannot make it overseas to CitizenCon, if you can make it to VerseCon, you will have amazing coverage that is backed by the community and also backed by CIG themselves. Because CIG knows that not everybody has the money or ability to be like, you know what? Germany sounds this good, this time of year. Let's just go.
Yeah, it is.
But we can fly to Austin.
Yeah,
it's Austin.
Is
It doesn't
a nice
cost
big
money.
central point, and we have definitely, obviously, CIG knows about our event. Been talking to them about that already. And we've got things in the works for that for sure. They did mention to us that it's going to be a little hard to completely support us as far as like we were thinking about doing like a channel or that sort of thing. And they just said because the crew is going to be
good night, waifu.
Good night. And they just said that it's going to be a little hard to fully support our event. What we were thinking, but they did say they are excited.
One of the
that
issues is that they are so devoted to Gamescom, to CitizenCon, that they're going to be working up. And a lot of people don't know this about Star Citizen is like if you watch any of their trade shows they go to, they work 100% up until he hits that button that says play.
Yeah.
So there's so many people that are going to be at the office and that are going to be working up to the point where they're like, okay, this is as good as we can get. And then they're going to be hauling ass over to the VerseCon event to try to support it as best as they can. Because if you talk to anyone that's within those industries, it is Star Citizen and then community and then everything else.
Yeah, we did mention to Tyler we were doing this thing, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna be in Germany. Like, I'm gonna miss this thing." And he was so like sad. He was just like, "Dang it! Like, I wish I could make it," but he's like, I have to go to Germany," kind of thing. And it's just gonna be awesome because there is definitely a group of people who are hardcore fans of Star Citizen, and they just can't, do the whole trip to Germany. I was thinking about it. I've been trying, but I just don't think it's gonna work out this year for me either.
It's gonna be so expensive.
I 100% can't swing it. I just can't.
Right.
Working as much as I do and having a streaming, unless some reckless billionaire decides to back my stream, there's no way I'm making a trip to Germany anytime soon.
It's true.
Yeah.
However, if a reckless billionaire is out there, feel free, and Fred Mike might, stop by.
Yeah, I keep telling my chat too. I'm like, I'm fully expecting just having a massive giveaway party because I don't think we're gonna make it. Even if we made the donation goal, I mean, half the money, because we're looking to try to raise $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
But if half of that's just for airfare to go there and back, I mean, it's not cheap in those areas at all. So
we're even talking about TwitchCon, and it's like, oh yeah, how cheap is a hotel on the beachfront of Long Beach in the middle of peak season? Hey, $350 a night, great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely figure it out, but keep, VerseCon in mind for sure, guys. And we will be releasing more information as we get it from CIG. Okay, guys.
I have 100% switched my focus from CitizenCon and Gamescom to VerseCon.
Oh.
It's just one of those that, I believe in you, and I believe in Astropub, and I believe in a gray-headed gamer. And it's one of those like, okay, I don't have $4,000 to do an international venture, but
that's how it came together.
I can raise the money to get to Austin to hang out with everybody else who can't afford Germany and wants to still have a kick-ass time.
No, yeah, and that's exactly why we created it. And seriously, if anyone's going to VerseCon and needs book rooms together or figure that out, have a Discord channel, message me, I can get that over to you. And you can coordinate, that kind of stuff to make it affordable, make it easy to get down there. Definitely are trying to promote that in. It's the community that makes the game all so much more fun. So, anyways, real quick, guys, we have three questions to answer here, and then I have a couple packages that I need to open because apparently I got some stuff in the mail while we were streaming, so I'm gonna open those real quick, and then we'll wrap it up for the night.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Come here.
All right. So the first question is
say hi, Craft News.
The Copper Kid.
All right, go.
And he is asking, how did you, Infrared, Brew, and Mitt draw in viewers when you first started streaming?
He couldn't hear me.
Okay.
Mine personally was I work for Track IR, which is a head tracking peripheral for gaming in most flight sims or space sims and stuff like that. I actually started originally because I wanted to create more content. I looked out there and was like, okay, we're not having anybody create videos. We have no community basis around this. So I really needed to step up and take over where the guy before me, who, by the way, is a fantastic individual, Seth. He's a great guy, great marketing, but his focus was a little different than mine.
Yeah.
And then immediately after, I wouldn't stream right now if it wasn't for Bad News Baron, Crass Kitty, or DJ Knight. The Supreme Tokyo is another one. They really pushed me into it. I reached out to the community and was like, hey, what do I do to make this better? And they said, create your own content, reach out to any of the streamers, and do everything you can to help them out. And that's just what I did. So in the beginning, for me, it was starting up and just showcasing what TrackIR had to offer. And very shortly, that translated into separating myself from TrackIR and making my own brand, because I finally met the community that I've been needing.
Yeah.
When I fire up a game here, there's nobody around me that wants to play. There's nobody here that cares at all about Space Sims. But I fire up on Twitch, and I get this massive influx of people who are interested in going out and hunting down these little, tiny, insignificant lore details. And that's what I'm all about,
Mm-hmm.
So I find these people who are finally have this passion about this stuff like me. And I turned that into, okay, we'll grow this. We'll play space games. We'll play variety games. I actually personally shut off being able to see how many viewers I have, how many people hosts bring in, because I realized that once I looked at the numbers, that distracted me away from the end goal, which was actually providing better content, being myself, playing these games.
Yeah, I totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
me too. I was definitely engaging with a community, and seriously just not just being like, oh, come and watch me, but going out and reaching out into the community too and involving yourself, seeing where you can help other people out too. You scratch their back, they're gonna scratch your back, kind of thing. What are you making faces at?
What happened?
What happened? I'm so confused.
I'm confused too.
Anyways,
Sorry, guys.
I
have my best friend is actually currently living with me, so he'll randomly come by and say something, and you'll see me laugh, but have no context whatsoever.
That makes much more sense now, because I was like, what did I say?
I apologize.
And I was like trying to think back.
He's like, it's not even good, and I'm like, yeah, but that's why I buy patties. It tastes good enough to get me drunk, but I don't have to worry about spending large amounts of money on it.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah,
Sorry.
I think starting out streaming, it's definitely hard. You can definitely just be like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. But involve yourself, and I think a good way to get some exposure is definitely involving yourself in the community. Reach out to other streamers and just say like, hey, I'm trying to grow my channel privately. Again, do not try and sabotage someone's stream by trying to promote yourself. Yeah. That is just not.
Yeah, no doubt. That's just a terrible,
terrible
idea.
Ban faster than
don't ever do that.
A different
self promotion's just a terrible.
Self-promotions are just ridiculous.
I just can't believe. If I could write backwards, I would. But
essentially, a fantastic rule to follow is if the streamer mentions it, then yes, go ahead and take it and run with it. But if the streamer says nothing about you streaming, it generally means that I don't know you stream.
Right. Yeah. That's very
true. Whisper me and say, hey, I'm just streaming. Can you take a look and see, maybe we can work together. Maybe we could help each other out. But if you just come in and you're like, hey, fuck this guy. I'm playing Rainbow Six. Come watch me. You're going to get purged and banned faster than I can even realize what you said, because my mods will attack the hell out of you.
Yeah, and let's be honest, none of that guy's viewers are going to come watch you, because they're going to see the amount of disrespect you came in there, and if they're real supporters of that streamer, they're going to be like, fuck that guy. Right. What's he about? They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, like us involved, me, you, and Rue, is we share people of similar views on the games. We all want to play the same games. We all have the same concepts. We enjoy each other. That's something you could benefit from. I'm not going to go and host some Call of Duty player or League of Legends player because I have nothing in fucking common with that guy. None of my viewers care what that guy's doing.
Yep.
However, if I host either of you, they're like, sweet, I can watch this guy because I have a spare an hour, hour or two.
And I think,
absolutely.
Seriously, I mean, when I first started out, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just jumping into streaming because I was encouraged to, and I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I'll try it, but, like, I don't know, I'm not really a good people person kind of thing, but I don't know, seriously, streaming has
You're not a
definitely...
good people person, really?
No, legitly, if you ever meet me in person, I'm probably the most awkward person you'd ever meet. Like, legitly.
Well,
I've met you in person, and I love hanging out with you.
Well, that's good. Maybe it's because we just, like, collate as nerds or something, but I feel like a lot of people that I meet in life, they're just like, what are you?
Well,
like, what are you even
As
talking
I said,
about?
meeting
right
you
there
was really
that was-
weird because we met in Seattle over a talk about Captain Richard, actually.
That's true.
And Star
actually.
Citizen, because I'm hanging out with Supreme Tokyo, who's pretty high up in test gaming, and it turns out that you were a big Star Citizen fan, and
Yeah.
it just kind of ended up working out. And I was there for work, so drinks were paid for, and it was a fantastic good time. But it's one of those that I myself am awkward as well. I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of friends. I literally have like 3 people I talk to outside of work, and I'm married to one of them.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them is
streaming
you guys.
has just like increased my like amount of friends that live inside my computer screen, and I love it.
There you go.
I
That's the
literally
best
love it.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
we live in a wonderful era where I don't have to go out and talk to people. I can just find them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Star Citizen, let's click on that. I could probably talk
Yeah.
to a couple people there.
It's like I tell my wife, it's like I can come and just turn my friends on, and it's not a dirty thing.
Yep.
I'm just-
That's
There
so
you go.
great.
I will
on
tell
and
you
turn your
this: if
friends
it
on.
wasn't for
Powering up friends.
Brews' recommendation, I probably would not have my DX Racer because I was 50-50
Oh,
on
yeah,
whether or
that is
not.
nice. We all have
I
DX
love-
racers. Do you see this?
I
Look at
wasn't
right
sure if
now.
it was just hype or what, but I
No.
fucking love this chair.
It's the only chair I can literally sit in for 8 to 12 hours, and I'd be
Oh
okay with
man,
it.
this thing.
I
is the
only
best.
I have an Ubuntu racing sim pit.
Yeah.
However, it's not fantastic for streaming because there's so many different things that have to go on with dual PCs. So
And if you would like to get your discount on a DX Racer, please.
if any of you have a DX Racer discount code, feel free to pitch it because I don't. But I will
go to my channel,
100%.
check it out.
I agree 100%.
That's a great chair.
This chair is worth every penny I've paid for it.
Totally true. And real quick, I do want to mention I missed this, but the Lurks donated $50 about.
Oh
a week
wow!
ago when I think I was going to the bathroom,
Nice.
and clap real
Thank you
quick.
so
Bathroom
much for
donation,
the
best
support.
donation.
The other thing I want to mention is the Lurks, just so you know, is Papa Roo. So if you see the Lurks creeping around the channel, not creeping, just lurking around the channel, that is Papa Roo.
Yeah, there you go.
all
Oh,
the fatherly
yeah.
love and support. Thank you, Papa.
I have to say on the aspect of DX Racer is that I'm spoiled with my office. My boss is one of those people that realizes that in order for people to be productive, they have to be comfortable and happy.
Yeah.
So my chair is a $1,200 Herman Miller Aeron,
Oh,
and it is
oh my
fucking
God.
wonderful.
I bet that's
Must be
pretty
nice.
cool.
The DX Racer that I have, the Revolution Edition, at was $350. I think I got it for $330 off of Amazon. Is the only chair that I have that I am as comfortable in as I am in my work chair.
Nice.
And I have put in 18 hours straight in both chairs and have been able to step up and walk away without any leg pain,
There
back
you
pain, or anything extra. You know, you see these things with these people and you wonder if they're just hyping it because
Yeah.
they're getting a kickback from the company or not. With DX Racer, I can 100% say, buy it, spend the extra money, and you will not regret it.
There
And
you
seriously,
go.
if you just wait till like around big, I got this chair actually, I think right after or right before Christmas, and I got it on sale for like I think it ended up being like it was probably the best purchase I've made.
Ooh.
And that also depends on the model and the size and all
Totally.
that stuff. Since I'm a bigger
I
guy,
will
my
say-
chair's a little more expensive than those.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm friends with the Game Case, who is significantly taller than myself. But if you're looking at that and you're worried about the money, wait till Black Friday. Wait till the Christmas
Yes.
sale.
Exactly.
Or 100%, if there is a convention near you that you can get to, PAX West, TwitchCon, any of that, DX Racer hosts massive shows. They have a huge booth, but they don't want to pay the shipping back. So you can walk up to them and say, hey, how much is that chair if you don't want to haul it back at the end of the show? And they'll be like, okay, for that share, we'll sell it to you for $240. And it is the King Series, where it's the 380-pound resistance, massive chair, and you get it for 50%. So if you get a chance, I cannot overstate, by the way, if you have a chance to go to a con, go.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wonderful. You get deals on games, merch, like all of this stuff, and you get to meet amazing people.
On sale at DreamHacks, and it's fantastic, and I love it. Have you guys seen this?
I'm so jealous of you guys. I want to go to cons and stuff.
Look at this. It's so
Matauchi,
beautiful.
I hope to see you at VerseCon. Like,
we'll see what happens.
I know it's kind of a dick move to be like, I hope you don't get the funding.
Hey, if I don't, we'll see what we can do on that. But either way, even if I end up going to Germany or wherever, I would like to be involved with the event down there in some capacity.
Yeah, if you don't get Germany, go to VerseCon. And it's one of those that, like,
we'll chat.
100%. Mitch, go to a con. Keyboard. Even if it's like PAX South 2018, go. It is an experience that you will not get anywhere else.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in it beforehand, even before I started streaming, as I was just working as a product manager.
Yeah.
Just it's so incredible. The people you meet, the experiences you have, the connections you make. It's just this networking opportunity that cannot be held anywhere aside from these events.
I should do that. I should. I want to. We'll see. Hopefully next year will be the beginning of me going to cons and stuff. We'll see what happens. So this year, hopefully I'll be able to go overseas. If not, we'll try to make it down to VerseCon. But either way, we're gonna go somewhere this year. But hopefully next year I'll be able to hit the whole array of PAXs and stuff. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
depends on family and funding as always.
Cons are expensive either way. Like I said, is my biggest issue right now. PAX West is early September, VerseCon is early October, TwitchCon is early October, BlizzCon is somewhere in between, and I don't have unlimited funding. So if I want to hit these cons, I
go
somehow have to raise these.
My chat, it enables me, for example, I was going to say, my professional tip on getting an DX Racer is to break your chair live on the air and have your chat take pity on you. And then that's how this happened, because my chair snapped and I was sitting on a wooden stool after that. And they're like,
mine was
like,
that
okay.
My Ubuntu Racer finally wore out to the point where I couldn't stream longer than 3 hours. Because I love my Ubuntu Racer, and I have nothing negative to say about it, aside from the fact that when I started running dual PCs and streaming more in a professional aspect, where I concerned myself with the quality of stream, that I had to raise my DX Racer 3 inches off of it because I had to support a 32-inch monitor and two 27-inch monitors, that it wouldn't work for me. And they only covered 200. I paid for the other 150, and I still have a donation goal up for the other 150 of it. But
there you go.
It's one of those that, your community really takes care of you. If you don't realize that it's a symbiotic relationship, you're in trouble.
Absolutely, and it's about the engagement with him. And on that fact, I was going to say real quick for my part of that first question. That we've only haven't completed the first question, which is great. But the first question, my biggest thing, and how I drew in viewers and stuff like that, I got one word: it's consistency, and that's consistency on your schedule. It doesn't matter if you stream 1 day, 1 hour a week, whatever. Consistency, because people look at like it's their favorite TV show, their buddies on at this specific time. So commit to at least a consistent schedule. And secondly, commit to consistent programming. I've seen a lot of streamers come to Star Citizen, and you don't have to stream the same game. But like, for example, I marketed myself as doing giveaways and interfacing with them and having fun with games and stuff like that. If I did that and then did something else and then made it about, in real life stream and all this stuff and not kept some sort of consistency, it's really hard to develop an audience. So you really need to do something that's consistent schedule wise and then kind of give people the expectation of what they're going to see. If you're always changing and stuff, then let them know that's what you're about. You're always going to be trying new stuff. You're always going to be doing this. But I think if you market yourself correctly like that with the people, you'll get a lot better consistency on viewers.
I have to steal this a little bit because I've watched Mitachi regardless of giveaways. Mm-hmm. And part of it is because there's 3 C's. It's consistency, content, and then community. Those 3 things are very important. And me being in the position I'm in, I don't give a fuck about giveaways at all. I don't care in the slightest. But what I can see is that they are passionate about their community being the best they can be at any given time.
I agree.
And then on top of that, they're consistent. I can rely on Mitachi to be streaming at the same time any given time. There may be some issues that come up. IRL, family, guess what?
Camera's not working.
I love you guys to death. I love you guys to death 100%. And I will be there for you as much as I can. If my wife or kids needs me, you are placed second very quickly.
So we always say in my channel.
It up when I can.
Yeah.
But right now, my wife or kids need me, you will see my camera go dark like that.
That's why we always say in my channel, #family first. That's what we deal with first.
True.
And then stream family comes second. We love you guys, but we got to handle the family thing first.
One of my absolute greatest things is the fact that I can fire up my stream and I can have a conversation with people like you and Mitachi and Rue and chat. But you also have to understand that I'm a real person. And my wife, my friends, my family need me. You unfortunately take a silver medal in that aspect.
Yep.
Other than that, I will devote every second I can, without a doubt, to providing the best content I can, even if it regards making a complete ass out of myself. Such as right now, I'm drinking like 3/4 of a fifth of whiskey while having. Seriously, this was damn near brand new, and that's all that's left.
Oh my god!
Whoops!
All the BBC. True.
We should probably move on to more questions before I get distracted.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. If you're trying to get more involved in streaming, you can reach out to us privately. But question number 2 here is we're always willing to help. Comrade Headclot. What are your thoughts on the New York Times article about Star Citizen? I actually haven't been able to read it quite yet. Have any of you read the article yet?
Personally, my largest interjection really is they took issue with Chris Roberts standing next to a simulated door from Star Citizen, which the issue is that they feel like Star Citizen has gotten so much money, and what have they done with it? Which, mind you, is a reasonable question, but the article is predicated on a very simple fundamental flaw of journalism, and that is they have done no research, they have put no time into their article, and they have not bothered to ask anyone a single question. The biggest issue with the New York Times article is that it has a picture of Chris Roberts standing next to a Star Citizen doorway. But if you look into it in the slightest, it is a prop doorway that was put up by an associate in their spare time and costed no money. This happens roughly every year when it comes to Star Citizen. Space Sims have a dead zone. Any streamer can tell you that there is a very rough patch for space simulations. And we are currently entering it. We are entering in the May, June, July, and early August stepping stone, where there is not a lot released for space sims. In that time, journalists take it upon themselves to ride the hate train and stop and say, why the fuck? These people with $150 million build this ridiculous door and blah, 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 blah. And it turns out, if you research it, the article is absolutely nothing. The door that's in question with that article is something that was built outside of company time as a spare project. It is nothing more than a prop that cost several, $100 out of the person who builds it pocket, not even the company's pocket. And it's just another one of those where they get sensationalist. They hop on the hate train prior to Gamescom release. Because I guarantee you, in 2 months, they are all going to hop on as Star Citizen is one of the greatest projects to have ever been, much like they are after every other Gamescom ever. We're just in a lull. We're in a lull between, there's a big difference.
Fantastic. I mean, every time Gamescom came around, their production and their release of whatever they're coming out with has just been amazing, and they definitely put a lot of time and effort into that. It's probably it is their largest exposure, other than their own but definitely gets them
Gamescom is a larger convention than anything the U.S. has to offer.
True.
There are wings of Gamescom that are larger than U.S. conventions. This is the number one Europe convention.
That's actually going to be able to make it to Gamescom, because I know I actually have quite a bit of German.
I was gonna say, yeah, we got all kinds of bros overseas. You would think they would probably.
I know.
If you have the chance to go to Gamescom, go without a doubt. One of my life goals is to make it to Gamescom because
would be
there.
Nice.
As I said, there are wings of Gamescom that are larger than conventions I've been to within the U.S. This is an astronomical games convention on a scale that you cannot imagine until you get there.
Yeah. I don't know. I read this article earlier, Rue, that we're talking about here. And my thing is, I didn't really think it was that bad, but I'm getting kind of irritated by like all the articles. They aren't like straight bad. Ever since they did that big rebuttal thing, with DS and all the other crap, with all the accusations, everybody who posts an article that's potentially negative about Star Citizen, they just talk about it really passive aggressively. They're like, oh, look at this big thing they spent all this money on, but they don't say it's bad. They just say we're amazed by how much money they've spent or how much people are donating to this. And they don't come out and call anybody on anything. They just kind of like leave it hanging there. Like they spent a lot of money, but people justify it and, choose for yourself. And I'm just like, it's a waste of paper. Like, what are you really saying about this game? You're saying nothing. You're just saying, wow, people spent lots of money. And here's some names of the people who spent probably too much money on a video game. Awesome. And
the Astro Club summed it up really well. And it was the same thing as this is a sensationalist article hopping on the hate train prior to the next release and Gamescom. And it happens every year.
It does.
There's this nice lull that's after the year starts and prior to Gamescom release, where they go, Star Citizen, where are they spending all this money? How are they doing anything with this? And they take one little thing they can hook on and they focus and blow it out of control. And they don't bother to ask the community. Because myself, Rue, and Mitachi, we all believe in the community. Yeah. I know that they're doing well with that money. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you guys are as well. So it's really just pandering to the masses who aren't already involved in the project.
Said it pretty well. The article is not for us; it's for our grandma.
Yeah,
the public
I think part of it is
heard of Star Citizen, and the fact that it's been the largest game that has been funded by a community or by other people. Where this starts, like, not GoFundMe,
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. Thank you.
Yep, the original.
The original Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
I was like, thank you. Like, where the
That's
like,
right.
I should know.
Yep.
But Kickstarter, they it's the largest project funded on there to this day.
Yep.
So, I think in any of these articles that come out, they try and base it back to what people are familiar with, and a lot of people know about these whole, sites where you can fund each other or whatever, and that's definitely probably a hype point. Getting the public know about that. Really, it's interesting is the gaming industry probably isn't as much as we're all involved in it, and we're all like, oh my god, we love this. There's a lot of people who like just do not understand the concept of a gaming industry, or people who game, or people like, what does that even mean? Video games. They just think of like the old style, like, I don't know, like they don't understand that it's like this immersive community of people and friends.
I think that takes it back though to the estimation of what game we expect out of a Kickstarter project at $10 million versus what we expect out of a project at $148 million. Because there are people out there who are upset. The game that I backed is not what is out there. And it's like, guys, we're 150 times our original estimated goal.
Yeah.
Do you not think that we have grown in vision?
Well,
and that kind of brings me back to the whole thing that Star Citizen will never be finished.
Yeah.
Because this company is one that, yes, we'll put out a product as this is what we're selling now. But will it ever be done? Is there somebody at that company that says, that's it, that's as far as we can go, that's it?
I mean, they're definitely going to get the base of the game out there, but, I mean, seriously, even a release like a new planet or a release ship or anything, still progressiveness in the game that we'll probably see down the road, even after it's released. They really...
Well, part of the reason that I believe in Star Citizen, and that I back Star Citizen, and that, I pitch Star Citizen to anyone that will listen, is the fact that I know for a fact that every time there's a new technology, a new advancement, a new system, they will be trying to push it. This is not a game that I can pick up, I can put 60, 120, 150 hours in and be done. This is something that is an ever evolving community of people that is going to just gradually be better every time they release something. Even if they're like, this is our 100% done release, you better believe there's more in the works. And that's what makes me believe more about Star Citizen than anything else.
Yeah. I just think these articles are like what Wikipedia said. They're lazy journalism. And they're thriving on the salt, not just from the people that don't understand the game, but they're thriving on hits from us, because they know we'll go down to the comment section, we'll have a raging battle with the other people, and they just try to target controversy. It's the same thing you see the news media on Fox and CNN and everybody else do about anything political. They do the same thing here for gamers. They're like, oh, we'll just throw some salt. Which games like got a lot of bullshit around it? We'll throw this one so that way people from both sides can argue about it. And
it's
then
like
you're basically building their views.
They're hopping on the hate train and they're riding it as far as they can go to get their sensationalism out.
Exactly.
And they always do it pre-Gamescom.
It's a big
the
journal troll.
Release for Star Citizen is fucking mind-blowing every year. Their Gamescom release is astonishing.
Cool.
All right, last question here, guys. And then we're going to open switches and call it a night.
There we go.
Is this the one from Alareth?
Yes. And it's directed towards you, Mike, here. Just going to make the answer to this question. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more. Hold on. Okay, Mike, before you
we
talk,
went after that,
real quick, I'm just going to answer the one that's for me. Brew Smash at VerseCon, will there be BYOC area for gaming and streaming? We have discussed this, and we're trying to make it happen. And we're trying to figure out the logistics to that. No. But It's an idea that's been floating around. Okay, the next one for you, Mike. Mike, how does it feel to be a Warframe partner when you know nothing about the game?
First off, I have to take this personally and say fuck off, Alareth. Alareth is a friend of mine, and he's also another a Warframe streamer who happens to not be partnered with them, and he is also much better at the game than I am. Like, without a doubt. I am partnered from Warframe not because of my ability to play the game, but my ability to draw a crowd while I fail at playing the game. I love the game to death. I do. And there are moments where, as a Warframe partner, I'm like, fuck, that is a really hard question. I'm going to have to ask somebody who knows more about it than I do. But Alareth is a good friend, and he's one of those people that Twitch is interesting to me because there are people I see playing, and I'm like, why the fuck does that person have an audience? And then I also see other people, and I go, why the fuck does that person not have anybody following them? And Alareth is in the latter category. He is a fantastic streamer. He's a fantastic person. And he is a fantastic Warframe player, and I don't know why he doesn't get the respect that he should. Yeah. But saying that, to answer his question is, I don't know, hopefully charisma is why I'm a Warframe partner that knows very little about the game. I'm only 130 days into the game, and I'm partnered with the company that has people who have been playing the game for 4+ years. And I hope to think that's because of who I am as a person, the passion I have for the game, and the simple fact that I admit that I don't know as much about the game as I should. I'm still learning the game. I am very new person experience in the game, and I am working my ass off to become that person who would be the person to ask. But when it comes down to it, I will never be Shoal Gaming. I will never be Daniel the Demon. I will never be Smashly. I will never be W Greats because they have 3+ years in game on my experience. I can't hop into any game and take somebody who's got it.
Werewolf even mentioned, once you've got like a couple thousand hours into the game, that's when you're getting good. I mean, pretty crazy. I know a couple people that are up in like level 25 rank.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of partnered Warframe streamers, and they're all MR23, which master rank in Warframe is waiting for more stuff to be developed to increase your rank. They're as far as they can go. I have worked my ass off to hit MR15. So I still have 8 levels to go before I even catch up to people who are just waiting for them to develop more stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Hi, sorry, my cat wants to say hi.
Say hi to Liz.
Hi,
Okay, can you
say hi to Liz?
Yeah, okay.
Ruth says hi, baby.
Awesome, guys. All right, I think we're going to call it a night, guys. This has been probably the longest Crafty Brews and Nerdy News podcast, but it's great because this is exactly why I bring us all together so we can chat and hang out. And
I'm relatively drunk. We can keep going for hours.
Yeah, I know we probably could. We could probably do an entire 24-hour stream right now if we wanted to. But I think we're gonna wrap up, guys. If you guys are not following these fantastic people, definitely go and give Infrared Mike and Matachi a follow. They are wonderful streamers here on Twitch. Matachi is a partnered streamer. Infrared Mike and I are on a stream team together, and we both got into the affiliate program. So definitely go.
Affiliate hype, gotta love that.
Affiliate hype.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So definitely go give them a follow. Stay tuned on what they're up to. They are always into the new games, staying on the edge. So yeah,
I have to
smash
say
that
right
button.
now is if we have not earned follow, please let us know what we're doing that may not. Or even just go ahead and pop your head in and give us an extra chance. Because I'm not usually drunk on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, typically not. That's this was also makes
I don't know,
this
I
a
might
little
be,
bit
I
more
don't know.
unique.
Shit happens.
We just get, the
But
thing
please,
is like drinking.
it's been a
just
great
kinda
experience.
loosens you up and gets us all talking, which I love that part. And
Good.
it's
Anyone from my stream that is here, that is viewing, please, I implore you to smash that follow button for both Mitachi and Rue, because
thank
they're
you.
both fantastic people. And if I could back them personally, I will 100% do so.
Well, awesome guys, thank you so much. Oh, I didn't open my packages, but you know what? We will do that tomorrow, or I'll later.
There you go.
Don't worry about it, guys. And we're gonna do a host up. So stay tuned for that. But until next week, guys, thank you so much for joining the Crafty Brews and Nerd News podcast. All again.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.